Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening. It's a little bit past 8:30 on the East Coast. Why in the world would I be on so late? Usually I'm about wrapping this show up around this time because I guess guys like me want to go to bed early. Usually we do, but sadly for me, or maybe good for me, I'm not really sure. It looks like Donald Trump wants to talk late. And if he wants to talk late, then I guess we gotta talk late because he's not going on until 9 o'clock. So that means I had to come on right before because I got to do a pregame show, right? I mean, isn't that like kind of required? Do a quick pregame show. Tonight, he will be speaking to Congress. It is like a State of the Union, but it's not, but it's like one. And I think he should be doing that because, boy, he has done so much in this last, 6 weeks, whatever it's been, something like that, 7 weeks, about what it is, whatever amount of time it's been. It's almost like it's been about a year. I mean, it seems like it is, whether it is or not. So yeah, I get why he's doing it. And I want to chat about what I think he's going to talk about, what I think he is going to actually say and do it during this one. And some of you may say, like, why do you care so much? I care because I think it's funny for us to have these conversations. Number one, of course, I mean, I do like the conversations, but I think we should understand what he's thinking, where his head is in the way he's speaking and what he's talking about. So this live reaction, I hope I'll be right on some of the things. So there were a bunch of things I wanted to bring up that I was thinking about. And I'm sure some of you have had it also. We're starting here, obviously, about a half an hour before he goes on, assuming he goes in on time. I mean, who knows if he'll start on time or not. Trump is very often late because he's, I guess, the super cool guy. So I guess he goes whenever he feels like going, but hopefully he will be close to on time. And if he goes an hour and a half, 2 hours, going to be a long night. But that's okay. It should be fun if I think that it's fun. Let me grab a couple things. Here's one thing I think he has to talk about, and I think he might do it early, and that is DOGE. I think he has to validate DOGE. I think he has to validate because, hold on, change it a little bit. There we go. I think he has to validate because people are losing jobs. And whenever people are losing jobs, that is a sad story for someone to show. And there are going to be people here. The Democrats have already decided how they're going to protest. They're going to bring people who've lost their jobs, right? So they can go boo when he yells DOGE and cutting and stuff, right? That's going to be their issue, right? And I think if I heard the story right, they're going to be wearing a certain color. Like one time they all wore white to protest him, was it? I think now they're going to wear like pink or something. So they're going to wear some kind of color, right, to protest, which that'll teach them. But of course, the number one thing that they do when they have nothing else to do, which is going to be virtue signal. So there'll be a lot of virtue signaling by the Democrats tonight, I'm sure. There'll be some kind of conversation afterwards on how evil and bad Trump is. Of course, that's required. Doesn't matter what he says. It'll be he's terrible and bad. But I think Trump will have to validate DOGE, particularly because, for some of you who know this, a lot of people who've been laid off with DOGE by percentage has been higher veterans. That's a big issue, right? Veterans is being a big issue. So we'll have to validate that somehow. Let me quickly grab a couple of super chats. I got them already. Lunatic, you came right into the house. 49, thank you. Larry, you put too much emphasis on monetary with your positions. Community builds all. You're right on both of those. I can't get to my community, Lunatic, if people don't have enough money to work outside of government, right? They have to be able to work within their community. And we have spent decades destroying community and pushing people into being subservient to government. So both of the things that are correct. Yes, I focus heavily on cash. Accurate. So we can build community. So I don't think those two are at odds at all. I think you're correct on both parts, and I stand by both of them. So he goes on to be a member for 2 months. Thank you for membership. Money never supplements skills. Absolutely can. Because if you have enough money, you can buy the skills of other people. So it can. Depends upon how much money you have. Money can purchase skills. And that's what most people who are wealthy do. Most people who are wealthy aren't good at the things, everything they do. They hire people who are. So I think it absolutely can do it in both cases. So thank you for that. Since I've already discussed it, let me make sure we know, if you want to, you can always click the button known as Lima India Kilo Echo. We always like that. Please do so. If you want to, of course, what he just mentioned, do a super chat. You can use some do super chat. Please do so if you want to on YouTube. You can also rant me if you want to on Rumble. If you're watching on Rumble, either one of those two are great. And if you do have a higher chance of actually being part of a short, right? You get cut out and you're a short, and now your question or your comment is part of a short. If you have not shared this or reposted this now, I don't know why you hate the children. I'm sorry, no, you hate veterans. See that? If you don't share this or repost it right now, clearly you hate veterans. I don't know why you do. If you want to subscribe to YouTube, please do so now. If you haven't already followed me on Facebook, X, and Rumble, please do so. When you subscribe, make sure you hit all notifications. It's important. And if you really love me, and I hope you do, you should become a member. $49 per month. Click that join button. Look, Lunatic did. Why can't you? You can also do it on, if you want to, on Rumble. You have to click subscribe, not join, subscribe, only during the live. All those work. If you want to, please make sure that happens if you can. Let me grab what else I think he's going to bring up. I think he has to validate DOGE, number one, particularly because veterans are going to be affected on that. I think he also has to claim victory when it comes to Canada and Mexico. That's it. He has to do that when it comes to Canada and Mexico, because those two countries are getting upset because of the tariffs that they put in. I think he has to say, see, it worked. And I wouldn't be surprised if he discusses tonight some way of ending those tariffs, whether he's going to lower them, change them, get rid of them. I wouldn't be surprised if tonight he actually mentions, and now we're going to, not do the 25% on Canada or something. Trudeau mentioned it today, had a whole thing about it. He was upset. I could definitely see that happening. Lunatic, thank you for the $2. Skills never supplemented to the wealthy, illegal. What? Skills never supplemented to the wealthy, illegal. It's not illegal to hire somebody to have a skill set. It's not illegal. You can do that, right? You can. Well, I don't get it. I'm not sure what you're saying with that one. Wealthy people very often hire skilled people. It's a common thing. So that's how they get the skills that they don't have. I'm not sure where you're going with that one. So, all right. Something else I think he'll do. I think he will also somehow belittle Zelensky, but say he's come back home, that we can still make this thing work. We can still make the war work. We can still end it. And that the mineral deal is a great idea and on a table. I think he will do that, right? I do think he will talk about that. Absolutely. I think he'll also bring up Democrats. I think he'll bring them up. I think he will push them. I think he will push them. I think he will. I think he will do that. Absolutely. I also think that he will defend Israel. I think he will absolutely defend Israel. You will see him defend Israel completely. I think he will. And he's also making an attack now on colleges. I think he will defend that also. I think he will defend Israel. I think he'll do all those things. So Mike Voss in the house. He's got predictions. All right. Mike says, prediction. Speeches an hour and a half. Okay, that makes sense. I'm buying it. That makes actually sense to me. Sure. 10 to 15 minutes on Ukraine. End of the illusion of EU power. You think he's going to say that America's dominating now? Maybe. I don't know why why would he want to diss Europe? I'm not sure why he does that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. He says 5 minutes on Hamas hostages. Maybe. If anything, he blames Hamas. He defends Israel. If anything, DOGE gets 10 minutes. Emphasis on ending waste. He's gonna emphasize on ending waste. I agree, but he's got to talk about it more with the transparency piece, because he's got to talk about he has to talk about the growth in the end. If he doesn't, no one's gonna care, right? People are getting laid off. You got to hear that part. You got to hear, but it's going to be good at the end. He's got to say that. Absolutely. So, yeah. All right, let me grab some more comments. Let you guys see where you guys are here on this one. All righty. I'm going to say Kyote. Some more politician nonsense while he and his oligarch team continues to rob us. I think there's a difference between Democrat and Republican rhetoric. Democratic rhetoric will be all about helping people. Republican rhetoric will be about making America strong. He's going to talk about making America strong a lot. That's going to be his rhetoric, his political nonsense will be about that. I don't think it's going to be about helping Americans, but it should be, but it won't be. That's not who he is. Lunatic, thank you for the $5. We will no longer supplement our skills for dollars. You must present skill for skill. This is how we kill fiat currency. Yes, but we're not there yet, man. Right? I'm not saying you're wrong, but we're not there. This is like maybe some people in like the outer limits of Wyoming are doing that, but the vast majority of Americans are nowhere near there. They're just not there, man. We got to move it to there. If we had more localism, you'd be right, and I'm not saying you're wrong. Yes. All righty. We can grab a couple more of these if we can. All righty. Let's see here. Matt says currently watching Larry and watching The Godfather. Well, that's kind of nice. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes. All right. IC says, good evening, everybody. I appreciate that. Let me see. Anyone else feeling that's going to be here? All right. Mike says, it feels like a year because he has done more in 30 days than most president admins in years. He has pushed a lot. You're not wrong, Mike. He has pushed a lot. Absolutely. A whole lot. I agree. I think it's Shin. Larry, do you believe history made Trump or Trump has made history? In other words, were the kinds of changes Trump has made since entering politics inevitable? What if Trump never ran in 2016? A Trump-like figure was inevitable. That's true. Trump was not inevitable. If he had not run or decided to quit or something, it's possible someone else would have come up. In theory, it could have even been a Bernie type. A rebel was going to happen because we wanted a rebel. Trump was the right place, right time, and he was the guy. But say he decided, I don't want to run, or he went off and did something in Dubai or something, it wouldn't have been him, but it would have been somebody else probably later because his timing was right. It would have been somebody else later. Some other rebel later on would have come up to do it. So I think we would have seen a rebel either way. America, as I've said before, has been begging for a rebel since Obama. We thought, well, we as the people, and many of you did, but we as the people thought that Obama was going to be a rebel. Obviously, he wasn't, but we thought that. So yes. Vivek says he has talked about DOGE. Correct. The files. Yeah, but the files, yes, but not much because that's the files. The Epstein files are touchy. If anything, he just touched on it lightly. He doesn't stay on that. Tariffs he asked in Ukraine. Yes. DOGE, tariffs, Ukraine. He's got to cover all three of those. I completely agree. Yes. So Dave says, do we take a drink for every time Trump says I? I don't know. You might be drunk. Yeah, maybe. Kay-John says, as a pink-haired lady, I protest. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Let me grab a couple of these. Cody says, like equals Larry illuminates knowledge and enigmas. Wow. I like that. I do like that. Yes. All righty. Let me grab a couple more of these if I can. The AC says, since 30% of the federal workforce is veterans, the Trump administration has now fired 14,000 veterans, making them already the administration that has fired the most veterans in history. That was my point, AC. I think he has to talk about DOGE and the firing. And if he doesn't give it a positive spin, and I don't think it can only be transparency. Mike obviously thinks it's just transparency. I think if he does that, he fails. It can't just be transparency. He's got to have some spin. Hopefully for him, he has good speechwriters who have shown that it's not just transparency, that there is some that there is some pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. He's got to be able to say that effectively because you're right. A lot of veterans have been fired. This is a big deal. The Democrats are talking about it and bringing it up. It is an issue. He has to cover it. If it were me, if I was his speechwriter, I would be talking about ways to help them out or how we're going to make the VA better or something. You have to make that a positive spin or you do risk hurting. Now, here's the advantage Trump has. You can see it everywhere in the country. Generally speaking, Americans are okay with what he's doing. Now, that doesn't mean the vast majority are, but relative to other presidents, the Americans are like, well, whatever. In fact, if you look at DOGE, most Americans are okay with it. They're like not happy or they're like, let's see what happens. That's what most Americans are thinking right now. They're giving him the honeymoon period. They're giving him the benefit of doubt. He has to promise something. Like he's promised the golden age before. I think that was a mistake. But now I might do golden age if I was him. AC, I might start talking golden age. Hey, golden age is coming. You're going to see it, whatever. That's not a bet. For me, golden age is a good theme. Coming golden age. It's a good theme if it's me, because I think you have a valid point. Dave says, Trump's Republican has to defend Israel. Democrats defend Israel too, man. Just saying. But Democrats do it too. I mean, didn't Biden? Didn't Harris? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think I have to. All righty. Grab some more of these if I can. I'm going to see if anyone else is saying anything that they feel. All righty. Phil says, I feel like we've been chasing the Ross Perot dragon. Yes and no. After Ross Perot, the charisma that Clinton had, he lulled a lot of people into believing we were having change and things were going well. And of course, with the internet bubble and such. So I think we kind of forgot about Ross for about 10, 15 years until reality hit. Again, this is for most Americans. Some Americans were watching it the whole time. I do think that about 15 years later, all of a sudden it was like, wait a minute. Okay, that didn't work. We need somebody else. So, yes. All right. Lunatic says, I've tranquilized myself through drugs and alcohol because I cannot truly express myself against my oppressors. Well, that's not good. IC says, didn't Clinton lay off 427,000 federal workers? Is that right? That much? That sounds crazy. But again, if you're smooth and people like and trust you and believe there's a lot of good stuff, you can give. Americans will take pain if they think the end is going to be okay. They will. Of course, anybody will, to be forward with you. Anybody would. So will Canadians, if they think it's going to be something at the end. If he can let us feel that, we'll take it. And that's why I'm saying I think he has to go further than what Mike said. I think he has to go further. He has to go. Now I'm saying, Mike, Mike and I thought about this when he first came aboard. I said, don't say golden age. He went too far. Now do golden age. Now I'm saying golden age. Now I am. So yes. Speaking of Mike says, Obama failed his State of the Union with I. Trump unlikely to use as much besides assassination attempt reference. More likely Trump will say America a lot. I agree with you on that one, Mike. I think he'll talk about that. I think he'll bring up the past also. I think he's going to smack Biden around. I do. I think he's going to smack Biden around. He may not use his name. He may keep, what he usually says is the previous administration, the last president. I think he may do that kind of thing. That's what I think. Anthony says he will not take responsibility for his little slide in the S. Oh, yes. He will blame Democrats and want everyone to fall in line, so to speak. I think he'll ignore it. I think he'll ignore it. I think he'll ignore the stock market. I think he'll ignore it. I would. I think he will. That's my gut. That's where my head is. I do think he'll bring up Biden. I do think he'll attack Biden. Yes. Kim says Clinton was slick. 'Tis why his name was Slick Willie. Correct. Charisma has value. Absolutely. Heading over to Rumble, Straight End says, chug your drink every time Trump talks about how bad Biden was. You're gonna get drunk on that one. He is going to talk about Biden. Remember, there's many things about Trump that are just the way he is. He's petty. I get petty too. But I'm just saying, he's petty. If you mess with him, he'll say something. He's going to insult Zelensky and he's going to insult Biden. He's gonna, because he's petty. He will take this time to insult them. Even if his speech writers didn't write it in, he's going to put it in when he goes off on his rant and comes on back. He's going to do that. Absolutely. Yes. I'm looking over at Instagram. AJ Pizzo says he's not going to take responsibility for the economy. He'll blame Democrats. Yes, I think that's accurate. I'm speaking on short-term decline we're experiencing. Yes, or he'll just ignore it. I go back to that. I think he'll just ignore it. My gut says he'll just really go over it quickly, right? Any bad things that are happening now, like the eggs and stuff, that I think he will totally blame the Democrats on. He'll say, oh, they did this bad. He'll blame that. He will not take responsibility for that. I agree. Yes. Pete, coming in on time. The thing that I think Trump might actually bring up, I think he'll bring this up, Pete. He might bring up the actual number, but I think he'll bring it up. 36 trillion, 218 billion, 923 million, $369,370.10. And I think it will be mentioned, but maybe the debt and or deficit, I think may be mentioned, Pete, because he has to validate it through DOGE, but the number he may not. But I think he'll mention it. There we go. That's what I think of. So, all right. Ryan says, even though I wasn't of voting age, and to keep it from my Republican mother and Democrat father, I wanted Perot to win in 1992. Me too. I voted for him. I did. I voted for him. I wanted him to win, and I voted for him. Yes. So, Mike says currently Trump has a positive approval of 48.6%, plus or minus 1.2. Is that right? Direction of country is down to 9.6 against, a reduction of 20 points in best since 2021. Okay. Yeah, that's my point. America is okay with him. And I know it's if you watch a lot of left-leaning news, it looks as though, oh my God, the world's ending. Of course not. But most of America is just like, here's the difference. Most of America is at least seeing something's changing, and we've wanted change literally for decades. And they're like, well, I think I'm just going to chill. Yes. So I think I'm just going to chill. All righty. If I can grab some more of these. Lunatic says, chug your drink is a statement of your own repugnant behavior. I like that. Let's do it. Shin says, there's a view that the Constitution betrayed the revolution's ideals. Less dramatic features include the Electoral College, indirect election of senators, and limited suffrage. Rich white men. I don't think that's, you could look back at it and think that maybe, but I don't think then. Again, it wasn't the first one. The first was the Articles of Confederation. We were under the Articles of Confederation, I think, for 9 years, if I'm not mistaken. That was beginning. And then right after that, yeah. Oh, is he coming out? Someone's coming out. Hold on. Let me see if I can get who's coming out here. Oh, a bunch of people are coming out. So we're about to get started, but not started yet. So yes, not yet. All right. Let me keep going here. Phil says, Vivek, Bill Clinton was held back from his worst instincts by Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich was very aggressive. He's actually here at the event right now also. He's there also. So we'll see how that works. All righty. Okay. I have Mr. Matt's Arcade. How many times do you think Trump will say the word greatest or best, greatest country, greatest president? Wow. I think a lot. Absolutely a lot. I think you will see him talk about being great, making things great, a lot. This is what he does. This is his skill set. This is what makes him, popular. He talks a lot about making America great, not individuals, right? If you look at what most of the Democratic rhetoric is not about making America great. It's about making people, you, helping the individual, the person in trouble. That's what, and it often sounds very nice. I mean, it doesn't work clearly. But it does sound very nice. When Trump talks, he sounds very patriotic. That's how he sounds. It's a different spin. It's a different sound. So I think he'll use phrases like that a lot. I think he will talk a lot about America's great or on its way, all those types of things. He won't spend time saying I was going to help the individual. And I think that is going to be hurtful if he doesn't deal with that when it comes to DOGE. He really should deal with that when it comes to DOGE. That's the piece, right? That is the piece. Yes. All righty. Mike says, ratings will destroy the Oscars. Look for a 5-point bump in approval after this. The 5 from Zelensky resigning and replacement sign the mineral deal. I think you're right. He will get a bump from this. I agree. And this will give him another at least 30 days at least, if not more. But again, he has to make something happen. He has to make something happen for sure. Yeah. Patty says, did you see Jon Stewart's reaction to the Oval Office / Zelensky insanity WWF comparison? Yeah. I do think that was funny, but I think in the long run, this helped Trump more than Zelensky. It helped Trump because again, Zelensky isn't as hardcore as Trump is, and is already coming back. Zelensky's already coming back. He's already open to the deal, making things work. He's already coming back. And so Trump is going to declare victory for that too. He's going to give Zelensky a bit of a nudge because he does that. He's petty, but it's okay. I think Mike is correct. I think he's going to get at least a 5-point bump from this. I agree. I think he will. Because again, it's going to sound good. He's going to be America, America. Democrats are going to be mad at him. Is he going to be able to pull any Americans over? I'm sorry, any Democrats over? I don't think so. They've already decided the orange man is bad. I don't think it's going to change. Ryan, thank you for being a member, obviously. Call me crazy, but I despise these joint sessions of Congress, whether it's the State of the Union or any other special session. A lot of pomp and circumstance and brag. Yes, but we're watching. I'm watching. It works. Yes, it does. Pete says, preview tonight. Folks, you're hearing from the greatest president of all time. Me, obviously. I've got the best words, the best ideas. Nobody does Congress speeches like me. Believe me, we're making America so great. It's like George Washington and Abe Lincoln are high-fiving in heaven saying, Don, you're the GOAT, hands down. Tremendous, just tremendous. That's pretty accurate. Yeah. That will be the overall thought process. I'm trying to be a little more detailed, Pete, right? A little more detailed, but yes. But again, we know that, right? That's who he is. That's his personality. We know that's going to happen. Yes, I think that's true. Yeah, absolutely. So, Dave says, at no soundbites a lot, I don't think Zelensky will resign until after the agreement signed. Zelensky will probably not seek re-election. I agree. I think you're right. I don't think he will leave until it's done. He has to have his victory too, which is I made this thing happen. I agree with you. He'll stay until something is done, right? Until something is done. Yes, absolutely. So I do think that will matter. Mike says EU already guaranteed no peace without U.S. Ukraine will beg. U.S. foreign policy will be stronger than in decades, maybe since Nixon. I think there's some truth to that. I think already Zelensky has gone back. The EU is trying to sound tough, and I get it. If I'm president of Chancellor of Germany or Prime Minister of Britain, of course I want to sound tough. Of course I do. So you want to sound tough? I get it. You shake your fist. We're going to be great. We're going to be awesome. But the reality is, are you prepared to throw your troops into Ukraine? And here's what I've been saying: if this was really an existential threat, yes, you would. But you know it's not. So you're not prepared to do so. You're not. You're going to wait for the Americans. And Trump, as I said before, does want to make peace. He wants that Nobel Peace Prize. And if he can pull off both of them, if he can pull off Israel/Gaza and Russia/Ukraine, he'll get it. If he can pull them both off. So, of course, he wants it. I get it. So, yes. Lunatic says, I'm checking out from social media. Maybe I meet you all throughout the chaos. I must unplug. Dude, I get it. I get it. Absolutely. I get it, man. I hope you'll come back. Love to have you back. Juan says, I have to admit Trump has gold-pilled Americans on Ukraine. It's now okay to be anti-war. This part's true. Well, no. It's okay to be anti-war in Ukraine. You are, I don't know. I can't imagine him not, in this speech, defending Israel. I can't imagine him not defending Israel. He's going to defend Israel. I mean, if he doesn't, AIPAC's going to come after him. Not violently, CIA, FBI, not violently. So don't get me in trouble. I'm not saying that. Rhetorically, there we go. Rhetorically, they will come after him. But I think he will defend Israel because he does. He actually does. It's clear he supports Israel. He does. Absolutely. I mean, he moved the embassy, right? So yeah, I think he'll do that 100%. Yeah. MW Knox says, I'd do anything to see Trump give Netanyahu the Zelensky treatment. Never going to see that. But yes, I would. That would be amazing to see that. You're not gonna. But I'm with you. That would be amazing. Yes, that would be amazing. Michael says, bought my popcorn. I love it. Yes. Dave says they will never give Trump a Nobel Peace Prize. Trump is Hitler. That's why he won't get it. Zelensky, maybe the EU, maybe. Ooh, interesting. Could you imagine how angry Trump would be if Trump actually made both of those deals and they gave Zelensky a peace treaty, a peace prize? Oh, my God. He'd yell forever. He'd be so angry. Oh my God, he'd be so angry. Yeah, I couldn't imagine how angry he'd be. So yeah. My God, I can't. Yeah, that would be shocking. Maybe the EU. Why? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm gonna pop up here if I can a little bit of this. Melania Trump has just come. So Phil says they gave Arafat a peace prize. Yeah, you never know. Not a bad point. Let me see if I can pop this up real fast. Just a little bit of it, so I have the screen up in case when Trump does actually show. There we go. So we can see that's when Trump actually shows. The first lady's here. Look at that. So I'm drinking so much. I had some spicy dinner. So I'm trying to drink a lot of water because I have a spicy dinner. So that's why I'm drinking so much. I apologize. I don't want to sit here and cough up everything. So, all right. Let me grab a couple of these. Space Jason over on Rumble says, I sense Trump might not promote the crypto reserve too strongly. When they begin buying, they're going to want to get in low. If he pushes hard, it'll pump. I feel like he's going to try to talk about policy like that. He might bring it up, right? I think he might bring it up only because he's going to want to talk about how he's going to make things better, right? To the point that Pete brought up, the deficit. He does talk about the deficit all the time, right? He does bring it up all the time. I mean, we still have one. He hasn't fixed it, but he does bring it up. So I do think that he might bring up the reserve. I'm actually not mad at the reserve to be forward. Why? The reason why I'm not mad at the reserve concept is because at least you're actually talking about the deficit, at least. At least you're talking about fiat currency, at least. I will take it. At least we never talk about it. Never. So you know what? I would take it. That's all I'm saying. If he would do it, I would take it, even though we still have a deficit. Again, look, he's talked about, what he's talked about. He has talked about Elon getting rid of, $2 trillion in our budget. I hope he can. Anthony says, Larry, make a great governor, and each going to see in the ballot again. I am considering a run in 2026. I am considering a run. We could do it. I haven't said yes or no to it, but I am absolutely thinking about it. Yes. Juan says, I stopped taking the Nobel Peace Prize seriously once they gave one to Obama, Mr. Jones strike. Okay, well, here's the thing I got to give Obama credit for. Obama is the only guy to win a Nobel Peace Prize while bombing 7 countries. That is impressive. I'm just saying. He bombed 7 countries and got a Peace Prize. I mean, top that, right? I'm not sure you can. That's thoroughly impressive. That is thoroughly impressive. Really. I mean, 7 countries? Yes. All righty. Grace says, nothing on Facebook about the Sharpe way. Really? Should be. Hold on. I think I'm running on a Sharpe way. Pretty sure I am. Yeah, I should be live on a Sharpe way. No notifications. People like people. You don't have to ignore Trump to like. Oh, yes. You can't click like button. That's correct. Yes. Phil says, RFK's there. Yes, absolutely. Lee Zeldin. I think you mean Lee Zeldin, but whatever. There's Mega Bobby. Yep, they're all showing up. You see them all show up? Yes, absolutely. Let's see. I have so many friends that loathe Trump. Me too. I know so many people who hate Trump. Absolutely. Yes. They loathe Trump so much that if he discovered the meaning of life, cured cancer, and stopped all wars, they would still say Orange Man bad. Correct. Yes. Yes, 100%. They hate him. It doesn't matter what he says or does. He's not going to get those people. But to be forward, he doesn't need them. I'm just being very forward. He doesn't need them. He doesn't have them. He doesn't need them. And he's never going to get them. There's a chunk of people that he can't, no matter what he does, it will never change at all. So, yeah. Gray says, hey, Obama is likable. Obama's smooth too. I mean, I'm not, he is smooth. Clearly, I'm not a fan, but I'm not a Clinton fan. I didn't vote for Clinton, but I can still say he is smooth. That's true. He's, to Kim's point, he wasn't called Slick Willie for nothing. He was slick. But being slick doesn't make you right. It just makes you slick. So, yes. Space Jason over on Rumble says, Massey's guess is Ross Ulbricht. That is amazing. I love that. That's amazing. So good. So good. I wonder if we get to see him at all. Like, would they show him at all? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. All righty. Grace says, Trump can't get the hardcore haters, but we can woo them to the gold side. Correct. Correct. We can't get them. I want them. All come to me. Yes. If you hate Trump, come to me. That's it. Absolutely. IC says, peace prizes hold no weight anymore. Except that Obama has one. And you guys may think that doesn't matter. But I keep telling you something. And you think I'm joking, but I'm not. Trump is petty. That's true. He wants one. I know he does. I'm not trying to be mean. I know he does. He would like to have one. That's all I'm saying. He wants to have one. So, yes. Mike says, Obama is likable when he has a speech. True. Clinton is slippery when he doesn't have one. True. Trump loves to segue constantly, but efficiency is the only true standard they should all be judged by. Yeah, but you know they're not. Yes, you're correct. Should. You know they're not. This is politics. We judge people on things like, I like their hair, or they're good looking, or this one. Gavin Newsom keeps winning. Gavin Newsom is clearly a terrible governor, but he's a good looking man who has charisma. That's just true. And I am obviously not a Gary Newsom fan. I'm a Gavin Newsom fan. It doesn't matter. He is still a good looking guy with charisma. That's true. He is. And you can hate him if you want to, but people vote for him. People vote for him. Kim says being slick keeps the people and the establishment happy at the same time. Kim, best comment so far of the night. Absolutely true. Take that, Mike. She's correct. She's correct. Absolutely. Pete says, where is Mayor of New York City, Andrew Cuomo? Yeah, you mean the next mayor? Yes. Cuomo may be there. Or he may be out tonight doing something else. So, yes. Look, for those of you who think I'm joking or teasing, I'm not. Andrew Cuomo is the next mayor of New York City. Andrew Cuomo is the next mayor of New York City. Unbeatable. I can't see anybody who can beat him. I can't see anyone who can beat him. Yeah. And how horrible that is that. And again, I'm the first person to tell you, Cuomo is terrible as a governor, will probably be a bad mayor too, is just my assumption. He might not be, to be forward with you, because I mean, Cuomo actually isn't, as I bring this all the time, Cuomo actually isn't a Democrat, right? I mean, he is legally, like he's officially a Democrat, but he's a Cuomoist. He will be whatever it takes to win. He will be a Republican tomorrow, Libertarian tomorrow, Green tomorrow, Democrat tomorrow. He doesn't care. He's whatever. Democrats to win, I'm a Democrat. He's whatever it is. It doesn't really matter. He is whatever you need to be. So with that in mind, it's possible he'll be a better mayor than Adams and de Blasio, than anyone's better than de Blasio. So he'll be better. But the reason why he's going to win is he has charisma. That's true. And he's got money. He's got charisma and he's got money. Lots of it. $20 million. Phil says a ton of Cuomo-sexuals in New York State. That's not an insult. That's what they called themselves. Phil is correct. And for some of you, I know Mike Vosper just threw up in his mouth right now, but that they literally called themselves Cuomo-sexuals. That is their word for themselves. They called themselves that. That's a self-identifier right there. Yes. So that's why he's going to win. Phil is correct, because there's still a ton of them around, happy to defend him no matter what. The grabber of butts still will be fine. Yes, he would still be fine. I know that sounds weird. I'm aware of how horrible that sounds. It's still true. It's still true. So Grace says, my one hope was that Cuomo and Hochul will have some battle of the Titans in New York. Well, I think this is a little bit off topic, but I'll bring it up because it's here. Trump is late, which I thought he would be. The reality of it is, if Cuomo wins the governorship, the mayorship, he may try to support whoever's going to replace Hochul. He might do that. And he'll do that because he'll want to have someone he can work with together there. That will be his goal. So, all right, I think he's going to be coming now.
Of the United States.
There we go. I think he's coming. There he is. And now we start. The handshaking. The whole deal. Pete says it. The orange man has arrived. It's true. That one good? That banner better? I'm babied in the little corner. That one better? Guys, remember, click that button. That is Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Share, repost us now, because now the fun begins. Time for the popcorn. Right now will be your time to follow me on Facebook, X, and Rumble before this starts. Do it now. If you subscribe on YouTube, make sure you select all notifications. It does matter. During this, if you want to get your chat to the front, you can super chat me, or you can rant me on Rumble. It'll go right to the front, no matter what. Become a member if you can. I'm going to go to members first when it comes to responses. $49 per month. You can click join on YouTube or subscribe on Rumble, either of those. But no matter what, if you haven't clicked the like button, you hate veterans. Why are you so mean to veterans? What have they done? What have they done to you to make you so much? Don't do that. Yes. Juan says, yes, much better. No one put Larry in a corner. That's cute. That's cute. Pete says, is he skinnier? Me or Trump? Which one, Pete? Me or Trump? Mike says, I'm having Funyuns. Funyuns are good. I like that. All right, let's see if this works. Grace said, wonder if Kathy Hochul was watching this. Absolutely she is. Because her and her people are going to figure out how to attack this right after. Remember, right now, Kathy Hochul is the face of the resistance. She is the front face of the resistance against him right now. She has to be able to attack immediately if at all possible. And don't get me wrong, if Cuomo becomes the mayor of New York, he may step up to being the guy who wants to fight him. It is possible. But right now, it is Kathy Hochul. Of course she does that. No doubt she is. Oh, okay. Trump looks thinner in the midsection. It's the suit. Oh, it's the suit. Well, then good suit. Maybe he's going on keto. See? There we go. Phil says everyone's putting out responses to the State of the Union. Of course they are. Maybe I should too. Should I do it, Phil? Put my response out? Now, they're all hoping want to go viral. The problem with what will happen, and this is the sad part, every response to the State of the Union from Democrats will just be how bad he is. There won't be any answers. Oh, didn't I tell you? Feels like do it. Maybe I will. Raza says, I've got cheesecake and coffee. Raza, I'm jealous. All right, as I said, patriotic. That's him. It's USA. I told you. It's all about America. I'm looking at Straight Ann over on Rumble, and he says, Trump didn't bring Zelensky along? You never know. That would be funny if he had brought Zelensky there. That would have been great. That would have been amazing. Pull him out of his pocket. That would have been funny. Ooh, Phil says Cuomo might try to work with Trump and get cash look moderate. You know what? That's not beyond him, Phil. That is not. Remember, Cuomo is practical. That's not beyond him. Hochul would never do that. Kate says, looks like enters the WWE fight and Larry's doing a color commentary. I like that. I like that. This is like North Korea. We keep clapping. What's that saying? Clap or die. Who's the last guy to clap? That's old Stalin. That guy goes to the gulag.
Thank you.
Juan says, hold on so I can get Juan here. Juan says, I keep seeing Kathy Hochul in national press. Do you think it's possible she's a front runner for Democrats 2028? She thinks so, Juan, but no. She has no charisma, but she believes that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Here we go. Talk your talk,
Great
my brother.
honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States.
They love her, don't they? I get it, though. They love her.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
There we go. Oh, don't stand every 5 seconds, guys. This is going to be a 9. Oh. Don't stand every time. Oh, my God.
Six weeks ago,
Yeah.
I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America.
I told you, golden
From
age.
that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country.
Is America?
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8
Pete,
years.
you're right.
And we are just getting
8 years.
started.
Stand up, everybody. Come on. There we go. Stand up. Oh, they got, oh, Elon is here too. Okay. Everyone says she's a classical woman. You're right.
Chamber tonight to
You're right.
report that America's momentum is back. Our spirit is back. Our pride is back. Our confidence is back. And the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
Greatest ever. Pete, you were right. You knew what he was going to say.
The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed
Never seen before.
Will never witness again.
There we go.
Never been anything like it.
Oh, he wanted to stand for that one. Phil says he's wearing a suit.
The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades.
No one's seen it.
We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
And don't forget, RFK Jr. was a big part of that. All right, wise guy? Give RFK some credit on that one. Where's the picture of RFK now?
Popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Oh, they don't like that. Democrats don't like that. They don't like that. Oh no, they got USA to shut them down. Brilliant. That was the smartest thing. Whenever the Democrats talk, the Republicans yell USA. Oh my God, I've never seen it before. It's brilliant. So good.
1 counties in our country, 2,700 to 525.
Always got throwing people
On a
out.
map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Oh, he is throwing people out now.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an
they're throwing
astonishing
him out.
record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
He is rubbing it in. I told you he's petty. He's rubbing. He's like, yeah, we beat the pants off you guys. We wrecked you guys. He's petty. I wouldn't have been this petty. And I'm petty. I would not have been this petty.
Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded. A 41.
They are throwing people out. Man, this is bad.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions.
Throw them all out,
That's your
baby.
warning.
Oh, man. Grace says Trump is petty and short of
Members are
queen.
engaging
Yes.
in willful and continuing
He's
breach of
queens.
decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the sergeant at arms to restore order.
I told you they're going to throw him out. You're going to get thrown out. Going to start throwing the Democrats out. Phil says, after going to Super Bowl, he's spiking the football. I know. RFK is there. He showed up already. He's there already. They should have had a picture of him.
Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
He has no mandate. They are
Finding
so...
that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
Wow. He had that written down. He knew they would do it. Now, he's just grandstanding. He's going to go back to his district and see how he was fighting them. He actually wins, to be forward. This guy does win. I mean, to many Americans, he'll look like he's being a bad guy. But when he goes back to his constituency, he's going to be a hero. When he heads back to Texas, he's going to be a hero in his district because he was fighting. Yes.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Grace says Trump loves this. Trump does. He doesn't mind fighting back.
6 weeks, I have
He
signed
started
nearly
this.
100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land.
Okay, that's the right
people
answer,
elected
but he doesn't
me
have
to
it yet.
do the job, and I'm doing it.
That was the right way of saying it, but it's not true yet. Let's hope he's right and it's true. It's not true right now. Right now, we're just hurting. Phil says, I was wondering if there was going to be a you lied moment. Yes, you don't have a mandate is the equivalent of the you lied moment. Yes, it's true.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the
Damn.
most successful in the history of our nation.
Did you hear him? He pointed to Republicans. He said it's ours, not yours. You guys think I'm joking when I say he's petty. This is some petty shit.
And what
Oh my
makes it
God, they
even
brought little
more
hand things.
impressive Is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? I
Damn.
don't know about
He's-
that list, but
He's
But we'll take
better
it.
than George
within
Washington
hours
now.
of taking the oath of office, I
Damn,
declared
Pete,
a
you were right on the
national
money.
emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and border patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal
Damn, Pete
border
was right.
crossings
Oh my
last
God.
month were by far the lowest ever
Yep.
recorded.
He's going to
ever.
bring the border up, of course.
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history,
I
there
told
were
you he would
hundreds of
attack Biden.
thousands of illegal crossings a
Yes. There it
And
is.
virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and
I
insane
told you he'd hammer
asylums,
Biden.
were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me,
Oh, watch
and
him
I
climb him.
realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy,
He's not
or to
wrong.
make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do.
I told you he'd hit the
I could
Democrats.
find a
I told you he
cure to
would.
the most devastating disease, a disease that would
Literally
wipe out
what
entire
Pete said.
nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical
God.
achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's
Wow.
very sad. And
Wow.
it just shouldn't be this way.
God damn, he's gangster. He just is. I wouldn't have been that petty. He's petty.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America?
Look at
For the
JD
good of our
Vance. He
nation,
can't stop
let's
loving
work
it.
together and let's
He is
truly
eating
make
this up.
America great again.
Look at JD loving this. Oh, Nancy Pelosi's so mad. She about ready to drop down. Wow. Wow. Pete said it. Bring up George Washington. Pete, well done.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
You got to have an answer for this one, though, because people are getting laid off now. Otherwise, you're going to lose some people here. By the way, Cage John, what you said literally
Terminated the
cured
ridiculous
cancer.
Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
Dave, he said, our, not my. I'm surprised he didn't say my presidency. I told you. Pete said, probably wrote it. You didn't write a speech, Pete? I think you did.
I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term.
Damn, he just became a libertarian today on that one, huh? Okay, he got one good one. Yes.
And in that first term, we set
Love that
records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had
Like
done
no
before.
other ever.
We
None.
ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
Her hat says Trump was right about everything. What?
We've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good.
Oh my God, he's so petty. Look at him. He points at the Democrats. He points at them. He says, how'd that work out? You guys impeached me. I'm still here. Damn, he's petty. It's false. Yeah, I'll virtue signal.
And I
That'll
stopped
work.
all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
Missy says petty can be necessary sometimes. It's kind of working, Missy. You're right.
And
It's
2
kind of
days
working.
ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
Casey, I guess I should write his speeches. Casey, John, you could have. You could have wrote this one. You and Pete together could have wrote this and given it to him. He'd have been great.
I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Why did the Dems have their
And
little
likewise,
things they want to show
I
up?
renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
Okay, that's just virtue signaling stuff. I don't care about any of that.
Beautiful
I don't care at all
Alaska.
about that.
We love Alaska.
It means that's just virtue signaling stuff. I don't care about any
We've
of that.
ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military.
Ryan says MPG is ultra cultist, if I've ever seen one.
And
She's
our
loyal.
country
She
will
is
be
super loyal. You're right.
No longer.
She is absolutely 100% on board with Trump. MTG is,
We
yes.
believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important.
Polity says, petty or cutting through the BS. You don't got to point at them while you're doing it. That's the petty part, Kalidi. But he's not
Based
wrong.
on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank
They've allowed us to do
you. We
this.
have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Man, he rubbed that one in too. God, he won't stop punching. Dude, you don't got to punch again. You don't got to keep punching. Oh, he won't stop punching. It's red
I
meat,
also
though. He's right.
signed
Republicans are
an
eating this
executive
up.
order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
Well, that's popular across the country. So that's not even like red meat for Republicans. Everything before, literally red meat. Look at Shapiro's there, red meat. Oh,
3
yeah,
years
they're loving
ago,
it.
Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
Grace says, RFK needs a shout out, so does Tulsi. Yes, Grace. He won't, but yes, he should. Yes. Actually, he might. Maybe. He might. Roy says she is loyal to him, but not to the Constitution. True. You're not wrong, Roy. You're not wrong. Kim says MTG thought she was going to the VP. I don't think so, Kim. I thought
If you really want to
she has a
see
future.
numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke
He's
the record
spending
by
this
5
much
hours.
time on
It's
on
demeaning
this.
for women.
I didn't think
and
he
it's
would.
very bad for our country.
This
We're
I
not
didn't
gonna
see.
put up with it any longer.
Belton Devin says, stop, they're already dead. You're not wrong. He can stop punching. Look at him. He can stop punching now. But he's not. He's just, He won't stop punching.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never going to let that happen.
I'm surprised spending so much
Among
time on
my
this
very
stuff.
highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know,
Okay.
we inherited from the last administration
I told you
an
said that.
economic catastrophe.
I told
and an
you.
inflation nightmare.
I told you.
Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs.
I told you
and
to attack
drove the
Biden. He's
necessities
doing it
of
now.
life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even
I
in the
told you he
history
would
of
spend
our
time
country.
attacking
They're not
Biden.
sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
This is what he has to say. This is the part that I'm telling you. If he doesn't give Americans hope, because right now Americans are hurting. If he doesn't give them hope, he's in trouble. He's giving them hope. He's playing the golden age thing.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control.
I told you he'd blame that.
The
See,
egg prices
I told
out
you
of control.
in the pregame show
And we're working hard
he
to
would
get it
blame
back
Biden
down. Secretary,
on the
do a good
eggs.
job
I
on
literally
that.
said
You
that.
Inherited a total mess from the previous administration.
Blame
Do a
Biden
good
for everything.
job.
Yes, of course he would. Phil says, Ryan missed opportunity. You're a wizard, Larry. Shit for the movies. Thank you. Yes.
A major
Oh, they're
focus
leaving
of our
now.
fight to defeat inflation is rapidly
I
reducing
didn't
the
miss the
cost of
eggs.
energy.
You didn't.
The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
Dave says, heck, I thought he talked about Ukraine and accused Zelensky of being a thief by now. I did too. I thought he'd spend more time on Ukraine. He spent like nothing on it. He's fighting
like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Juan says, bingo, Larry already wanted his bingo card. I kind of knew this was going to happen, though. Like, I knew what he was going to say. He is, in this regard, he's very predictable in many ways.
Is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one.
Never.
It will be
never
truly
like it.
spectacular.
That's what he
It's all
always
set
says.
to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
Grace says, Trump is like Musk, the fat rich kid who got bullied and made billions and is in the White House with access to rockets. Nicely done. Nicely done.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
This is how you deal with DOGE. A smart move, because people are hurting because of his firing people. He's got to spin this just right.
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
There we go.
DOGE.
There we
Perhaps
go.
you've heard of it. Perhaps.
Oh, okay. Elon's up now with his tie. Elon, you're a billionaire. You get a better suit than that? Did you not get a custom suit,
Which
custom
is
shirt?
headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Lou is mad. Lou says Trump is one of the worst presidents. Well, Lou, he has told us today that he's number one and George Washington is number two. I'm not joking. He said that to us tonight.
He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe.
Oh, come on. He's being, look at him. There he goes again.
They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic
Okay,
inclusion
the waste
of
part's good.
sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
God, he's
$8
cracking
million
jokes
to
now.
promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous people.
It's in South Africa.
And
That's fine.
Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
No. Oh, he even pushed her
A
too.
$3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali.
He's still going.
$59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City.
He won't stop punching.
He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning.
Oh,
I
God.
don't know what we're doing. Should use it ourselves.
Oh, my God.
$101 million.
Mike's right. Trump's
for
doing a 90-minute comedy
contracts
open
at the
mic.
Department
Legend.
of Education, the most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
Dems can't say a word, Mike says. It's over what they did. Trump's approval is going to soar. I don't know about soar. There's still a bunch of people who don't like him, Mike. I mean, a lot of Americans just do not like Trump. You saw what Lou just put up. She's like the worst president. There's a lot of people who do not like him. No.
Fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money.
And people see this as petty, Mike. They don't just see it as a win. I know you like it.
The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation.
A lot of fraud.
And we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to.
Ryan says, Trump, this is my victory lap. Democrats deal with it. But it's petty, though.
The Social Security program for our seniors.
Roy says not presidential. There's a lot of people who agree with Roy. Mike, a lot of people agree with Roy.
Databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129.
He is spending a lot of time on
3.9 million
this.
people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them. And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot
I'm
of
looking
money
over
is
at
paid out
Rumble.
to
Sheridan
people
says the mainstream
because it
media
just
can't
keeps
ignore this
getting
part of the
paid
speech.
and paid,
It's
and
too
nobody
big to
does, and it
rein
really hurts
in Dodge.
Social Security and
To
hurts
rein
our
Dodge,
country.
yes.
1.3 million people from
Doge
ages
is popular.
150 to 159 and over.
People do like it.
130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
Oh, look at that joke. Look at him cracking jokes. At least he gave RFK a little bit of something. I'll take it. I'll take it. That's at least Stefanik behind him, by the way, from New York. That's something. He gave RFK something. All right. Okay.
Including,
That's something.
to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229.
Ryan says,
One
Larry, I
person
agree. It's
between
petty.
the
That's
age
why I
of
posted the victory
240
lap
and
comment.
249,
Yeah, it's
and one person is
he's not
listed
he keeps
at
punching.
360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country.
Roy says he's not even telling the truth. Those
But
people
we're
aren't getting a
gonna
check.
find out where
Oh,
that
I don't
money's
actually know
going.
that, Roy. Is that true? Are the checks
And
not
it's
going
gonna
out?
be
I actually
pretty.
don't know
By
that.
slashing all of the
I believe
fraud,
you.
waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
That's how you got to end it. That's what I said. This is my, didn't I say you that? You got to walk down all the waste and then say how you're going to help American families, or it doesn't work. That's exactly what his speechwriters did. It was exactly the right answer. That's why they're clapping
Yesterday,
down.
interest
You have to do
rates
that.
took a beautiful drop. Big
Interest
beautiful
rates,
drop.
yes.
About
Now
time.
this is the answer.
And in the near
This is
future,
the way you build
I
it.
want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
Pete, I told you he'd bring it up. Pete, I told you he'd bring it up. You said he wouldn't. I said he would. He just did. Of course he will. IC says, people say when he's doing his non-presidential, yet applaud Crockett when she calls Trump an enemy to the U.S. It's a double standard, IC. You're right. It is. It's how it works.
With that goal in mind, we have
You're right,
developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which
Gold
goes
card.
on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated.
So he's just going to get
And
people to
these
buy and
people
pay it
will have
off?
to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats,
Oh,
the Biden
God, he's doing it again.
administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
That better be a whole lot. Lou says they're not getting paid Social Security. Roy says just because DOGE found names in the database doesn't mean checks went out, but the sycophants don't care about facts. I think you could be right, but it makes for a good speech, and I think that's why he did it. I don't think he cares, Roy. I don't think he cares.
For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations, and debt. Approvals that should
He keeps
take 10
pointing at him.
days
He's
to
punching him
get
so much.
instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
Phil says he coached himself in petty. It's kind of true. Peter says Trump's Social Security numbers have been debunked. So it's just the story. It's a good story. It's a good story. But yeah,
And
some
any
people see
federal
RFK. That's
bureaucrat
good.
who resist this change will be removed from office immediately.
Man.
Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Wow. Phil says it might not be checks going out, but money laundering. If the check's going out, they can't. Ryan says, I kind of like DOGE myself. You can see
And
that
the next phase
most
of our
Americans
plan
actually
to
do.
deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that.
He just goes off and just punches.
But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
Grace says, love Bobby, I'm good. That's all you wanted? There we go. Yes. She's good. Colini says, maybe part of being transparent, historically being presidential, is saying nothing while you grift.
First term with
Ooh,
interesting.
interesting.
Plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board, and to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation. I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
That one you got me. Okay, you got me on that one. I'm going to clap on that one. Okay. Clap it on that one. All right, he got me there. Let's do that. Let's do that no tax on tips things. Look, all she's going to do, she just has to insult. That's not helpful. What's your plan?
Interest payments on car loans, tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
All right. Jared says, wonder if he'll mention Epstein. I don't think he's going to talk. I said he want to mention the files. I don't think he will.
Auto industry like
he'll blow them right off.
Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Can you make up enough? Phil says it's a positive vision at least. He had to. Phil says, yeah, I agree. He had to. You can't be just laying people off
has taken place
and not having a positive vision. It won't work.
On November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
Pete says, I like DOGE. Ryan says, I kind of like DOGE. I'm a former federal employee.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard
Picket
of
signs
them?
are lame. Yeah, they
And
are.
countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd,
Uh-oh.
I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day.
Guys cracking jokes. Look at Vance loving this.
A lot of money.
Vance is loving this.
We're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us.
Now, if he follows that on everything, we can get to free trade if he actually serious. I don't know if he's serious.
Non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before.
I hope that's true. I'm not buying that one, though.
I did it with others, and the Biden
I'm not buying.
administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it.
God, I hope he's
We've
right.
been
I don't buy it.
for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
Peter says most tips are not taxed. A lot of them aren't. Yes to no taxes. Yep. No tax on income. Yep. Ray says Trump pays his taxes. That was pointless. True.
3 months about Mexico and Canada.
Here we go.
have very large deficits with both of them, but even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that.
How about you only wear a MAGA hat if it's
We're not
made in
gonna do it
America?
any longer.
That's a good joke, Roy. Good joke, Roy. That's good. Missy says they don't have a plan. They only have insults. I'm so glad about the Dems. Today, that's all they have is insults. That's all they have.
Points of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won.
Wow.
Apple
He's punching again.
$500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
That was a smart move. A lot of credit for that. Smart move. Makes the Chinese pissed off. Gives us some of that. Brings us close to Taiwan. That's a smart move.
Any money, your chips,
and we didn't pay them cash.
A horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it.
That's what Elon did. Yes.
We're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other.
Well, that's not true. They also want to have defense.
We don't have to give them money.
But He's
We
still
just
right.
want to protect our businesses.
But that
and our
part's not really
people,
true. But he's
and
still
they will
correct.
come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
Pete, did you hear it? He said reduce debt. I told you, talk about it. CHIPS Act, though, oh my God. You know Kathy Hochul's going to be talking about that tomorrow. That's Micron. That's the only new business we get in New York is from the government. So
Our new
that's
trade
going to
policy
change.
will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer.
MW Knox says, I kind of like how he took the gloves off in his speech. I don't know. It does.
Because nobody is going to be able to compete with you.
I think you already like Trump. If you like Trump, this is red meat. If you don't like Trump, this is petty.
Other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers starting on April 2nd. It may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China. $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me.
That was the smartest thing he's
and this will
ever
be even
said.
better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now.
He admitted there's going to be some pain because there's going to be pain. His stuff doesn't work right away.
I love you too.
It doesn't work right away if it works at all. His tariffs might fail and screw us over. There's still a chance they'll fail. I hope they won't. But even Knox says it. I'm not down with the tariffs. Me neither. I'm with you, brother.
Foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker.
He does have a sense of humor.
Fantastic person.
It's true.
From Decatur, Alabama, Jeff Denard.
Phil says Ben's going to be a formal candidate in 2028. Yes.
For 27 years, and a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain.
Ryan says tariffs are idiotic.
Volunteer fire department.
I hope they work because I'm not a fan. I'm with you. I'm not a fan.
Wife Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
He says, did Trump say he wanted to use some of the tariff money to help pay off the national debt? Yes. See, making me and Pete happy. I like that part at least. There's something good here. I like that. Absolutely. Yes. Shredan says, I like Trump, but this is petty. Mike, other people are saying it too.
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again. And it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little
Mike Voss said he's going to get a bump from it. Mike's right.
Okay with that.
This is going well for him.
Won't be much. No,
the pettiness though is a little bit. See? Oh, look at him playing with the crowd.
And look where Biden took us. Very low, the lowest we've ever been.
I told you he'd smack Biden all night long.
And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
They do love her. That's true. IC says reciprocal tariffs is actually fair. I love that idea. I do too. I just hope he's serious, because then it allows people to say, I want no tariffs, and then he erased the tariffs. So I love the idea too. I'm with you. I'm hoping he's serious, and then they could just drop all tariffs.
Has yielded
That'd be great.
Incredible results,
total free trade.
Prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by two impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deep fake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and This is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you.
Mike
Stand up,
says,
John.
this is what America voted for. Gloves
Thank you,
off,
John.
bandit off, transparency on how bad it is, and the potential for improvement. A focused return on
Thank you
average
all very
Americans.
much.
That is his speech because Dems did it. Well, I think you have a valid point here, Mike. People did want
Thank
change
you.
and a focus like this, yes.
And thank
But
you
then
to
when they
John
hear it,
Thune and the
it
Senate.
can feel bad,
Great
is my
job.
point.
To
It
criminalize
can feel
the
bad. But you're right. We did vote for
publication
this. It's true.
of
As a
such
nation, we did.
Online is terrible,
true.
terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you.
What he
But
says,
if we
those picket
truly
signs are
care
nicely
about
printed.
protecting
Did
America's
taxpayers'
children,
dollars to
no
pay for them?
step
Yes.
is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
I'm not sure about that. Peter says, Maureen, you know as well as I that Trump is a congenital, narcissistic, pathological liar. Don't listen to what he says. Watch what he actually does. My eyesight is much better
And Christy,
than my
I want to
hearing.
thank you
That's
and
good.
Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year,
Look, I don't care what he says. I care what happens to the
a
country.
brilliant
If what actually
22-year-old
happens
nursing
works,
student
I'm
named
good. If it doesn't,
Laken
I'm not.
Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this
Sad
evening
story.
are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
Roy says, Vance will be like Harris. What would you have done different than your president? Answer, silence. But if Trump is popular at the end of his 4 years, it won't matter. If he's not popular, that's different, right? He's got 4 years to spin this thing effectively. If it ends good, Vance will be fine. If it doesn't, you're right.
Last
Ray
year, I
says,
told
it feels
Laken's
like a
grieving
psyop against the
parents
Dems
that we
tonight.
would
He is
ensure
beating
their
them up.
daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
Ryan says, Dems look confused. Right now, the Democratic Party's broken. They've got Kathy Hochul at their front, and they've got Gavin Newsom doing podcasts
It's called
with Charlie
the
Kirk.
Laken
I'm not
Riley
joking.
Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley.
Phil says, people like a fighter. It's true. You're not wrong. And right now, the Dems don't have one. They need a fighter. You're right. The Dems need a fighter right now. They got to find one, or they're going to get just crushed for the next 2 years.
Thank you very much.
Knox says,
Since
after all
taking
the
office, my
lawfare,
administration
he has every
has
right to be
launched
petty.
the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
Garfield says, unpresidential. He has all the cards. He doesn't need to be presidential. Yes, Garfield, but it doesn't make it feel any better, right? Even if you have all the cards, you want to feel magnanimous. People want to feel that way.
And our
I
friends
think
in the
it does
Democrat
matter.
Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Oh, man. I told you he would hammer Biden all night. He is hammering Biden all night. Not always by name, but he is. Andrea says, can't wait to see that talking head spin this tomorrow. The right is going to eat all of the red meat because he's given a lot of red meat to the right. The left is going to spin it like he's not presidential. He's mean. Look at those faces. Yeah.
Joe Biden didn't just open our borders. He flew illegal aliens
over
over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before.
No one.
Beautiful
this is the old
towns
time.
destroyed.
No one's seen it.
Now, just as I
Dave
promised
says
in
both
my
parties use
inaugural
lawfare.
address,
Yes,
we are
accurate.
achieving
That's not a
the
Democrat
great
thing. That's a both sides. It's
liberation
true.
of America.
Roy says class is acting classy even when you don't have to. Roy, that's correct, and that's my point. I mean, he's not wrong. He has all the cards. That's true. You don't have to keep punching, though. You could stop at one point.
Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungary from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are two illegal alien monsters from Venezuela,
on culture war
released
stuff.
into America
Far
by
more
the
than I
last
thought.
administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly.
I think too much. Too
Alexis,
much on culture
I
war.
promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter. And earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Oh, what showmanship. Well done. Oh, my God, he's good at this. This guy, this has never been done before. This guy is such a showman. If you run for office, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. This is a class tonight. This is a class tonight. Grace says, what will MSNBC say? They will say it's all fake, that he just did it for show. He actually hates people.
Murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
Peter says, Marine Trump couldn't get 50% of registered voters vote for him. Harris got less.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great
Matt
guy.
says, damn, Dems can't even stand for someone murdered. Grace says, Dems needed to address Lake and Raleigh. The Dems dropped the ball on the border horribly. They dropped the ball. They had no answer for it at all. And you got to have an answer for that. You can't let that go. You have to have an answer, and the Democrats had no answer for it at all. It's just true. Kim says, the Dems been sliding by
Roberto
on slick.
and another agent
It's all they
were
know.
patrolling by the
not
Rio
wrong.
Grande near an area's Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek
Garfield
safety.
says maybe the reason he keeps punching is to show that he'll keep fighting for the next 4 years.
Some of the
I think for a lot of people who support him, I think that does work, Garfield. I think you're right.
Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage, and
a lot of people want to see him fight. I agree. It's a valid point.
And for
it
the
just
bravery that you showed, we honor you, and we will always
he could stop. I
honor
think.
You. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
Matt says, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to stick at how bad all the culture war stuff is by pointing out how bad the Dems made it. Yeah. Yes. I just think I always want to fall back to economics, and I want people to be able to make enough money, right?
To the border.
Jared says too. Focus more on economics, foreign policy, and hope. I'm with Jared. I think he's gone too far. That's my view. I wouldn't have gone this far on this.
By criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
Mike says, Larry, this is Trump telling America that he's thinking of them and their future. No one does that anymore. This is heartstrings. You're not wrong, Mike. I mean, that showing that and doing that, that's thoroughly impressive. It's well done. I'm not saying you're wrong. I think he's gone too long on the culture war stuff, but you're right.
Handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder, President Dwight D. Eisenhower. A moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me.
He's the greatest showman from Hugh Jackman. He is good. Remember, he convinced America he was a great businessman based on a reality TV show. He's great at persuasion. Roy, you're right. The guy's a showman. Look, he is. Ryan says, I agree with Larry. This is indeed a class tonight.
And as we reclaim
yes,
our
and half of this is off the cuff of this guy.
Also bring back law and order to our cities and towns.
Peter says Trump's the reincarnation of P.T. Barnum.
In recent years,
look, this skill set does matter, is all I'm saying. It does matter.
Turned upside down by radical left lunatics.
Wow, he called them lunatics.
Virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi.
Kate says, perhaps Dems should
Good
pick
luck.
their new leader
So
from reality TV shows.
Going to do a great
Yes.
job. Cash. Thank you.
Yes. Kate, yes.
Thank you, Cash.
I'm not even joking. They could use somebody who's got some charisma. You're not wrong. Dave says, when do the drone strikes on East LA begin?
They've already
Probably
started
tomorrow.
very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job.
Yes.
You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less
It says
dangerous.
Democrats do
The
keep
problem
punching
is
too.
the
It's just
bad
been less and
guys
less
don't
effective.
respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon
Yes.
will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable
Masterclass,
people, and we'll
yep.
never forget
Art
them.
of speech. Yep.
And besides that,
Major
they
success
voted
for
for
him.
me in record
Of course
numbers, so I
he's
have
gonna
no
brag
choice.
about it. Of course he made it about himself. But look, most of the time they don't bring up firefighters, so that's impressive. That is good. He brought up firefighters. That's good. That's good. Yes.
31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior
Each of these are
arrests,
good. It's
and they
always
were
like a
rough
young woman
arrests.
who
He
lost
was a real
somebody.
bad one.
This is
The
great.
thug
Grace
in the
goes,
seat
love him or
next
hate
to
him. It's
him
his genius.
had
It's
14
true.
prior arrests.
It's true.
And
He
went by
made this
the
a whole
name
thing
of
a
killer.
show.
He was killer. He killed other people. They say a lot of them.
Brian says, I was hoping for an economic /
Diller's
inflation and foreign
service,
policy type
and
speech.
when I met
I'm with Larry. I'm not
his
into culture
wife
war
and
stuff. I
one-year-old
wanted that
son,
too,
Ryan,
but
it was very inspirational. Actually,
we're not getting it. We're not getting it tonight.
His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much.
Matt says, damn, Dems won't stand for law and order either. They will not stand for him no matter what. He was right. What Trump said up front,
Stephanie,
he was right.
we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest. And we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, so we're going to do it fast.
Hattie says, there's a
Gotta
sucker
stop
born
it.
every minute. P.T.
They
Barnum.
get out with 28 arrests.
Not wrong.
They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats.
Ah, yeah.
We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders
What?
a police officer. And tonight
Boo!
I'm asking Congress to
No
pass
death
that policy
penalty. Boo!
into permanent law.
You got me to boo you tonight, Trump. No death penalty. Boo! Death penalty. Boo, boo. Boo! Death penalty. No. Boo! No death penalty.
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed.
Uh-oh, now they're fighting.
Joining
Bill
us
says,
in the gallery
Can
tonight is a
Democrats
young
kick
man
Snooki?
who truly loves our police. His
Ryan
name
says,
is
oh,
DJ
JWoww.
Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
We're doing Jersey Shore, guys. I would take it. Look at this. Come on. Phil says Trump versus the situation. We're doing Jersey Shore against Trump. I love it. I would take it. Roy says he won based on culture war. That's a valid point, Roy. It's a valid point.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live.
These
That was
kid
more than
things,
6
Jesus.
years ago.
Oh, he wants some more. Cheyenne says, you all know Trump can run his mouth for hours. He'll get to the economy. Will he? Maybe. Ryan says Trump
Since
tugging at the
that time,
heartstrings.
DJ and
Yep.
his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Just made a kid an agent of Secret Service? He just made that up. Trump just made that up. I don't know what the hell I'm watching. Straight Ann over on Rumble says, no death penalty. Agreed. Kim says, no death penalty. A new twist on suicide by cop. Yep, no death penalty. Grace says, Trump loves death penalty. I do not. No death penalty. No. No death penalty. No. No death penalty. Ryan goes, death penalty is awful. Yes. No death penalty.
DJ.
Knox says Trump is unmatched at TV.
DJ's
He
doctors
is
believe
good.
his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger.
Uh-oh.
Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities
Uh-oh.
for our
RFK
new
Jr.?
presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired
He
by
brought
our
up
new
Maha.
Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Nicely done.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering.
Oh, he's
How
cracking
quickly they
jokes.
forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong, 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
That kid could have probably taken him better than the dudes in Pennsylvania. Maybe. Tomorrow that kid will be put on CIA. Here we go. Yes, that hug was adorable.
My
Yep, how sweet.
administration is
Killing it.
also
Yes.
working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago,
Grace says, Larry is
January,
working. I'm
little
tearing up
John
here over the
and
15-year-old
her
Fed.
husband discovered
I
that
know.
their daughter's school had secretly
Yes, he's
socially
good.
transitioned their
That goes
13-year-old
alley-oop to
little
RFK.
girl.
Maha.
Teachers
Yep.
and administrators conspired to deceive
Bunch of
January and her
RFKs.
husband while
Maha,
encouraging
Maha.
her daughter
Yep.
to use a new name
No death penalty.
and pronouns.
Yes.
They, them pronoun, actually.
Smooth.
All without
Bobby.
telling January,
Maha,
who is here
RFK.
tonight
Yep.
and is now a
Killing it.
courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. very
I'm
much.
seeing Bobby's dad and his face turn up again. Yes. Maha. Yes. I'm seeing it. Yes. Smooth like butter. RFK and Maha. Yep. Dave, an hour and a half, and we are on DOGE,
Thank
the
you.
Culture Wars, MS-13 terrorist
Stories
organization,
like
police
this,
protection.
why shortly
He
after
probably won't
taking
get to
office,
Ukraine
I
before
signed an
midnight.
executive order
Oh my
banning
God, Dave,
public
don't kill us.
schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology.
Uh-oh, back to Culture War. Back to Culture War. Grace goes, booing, finding a cure for autism isn't a good look,
I also
Dems.
signed an order
That's
to cut
true.
off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth. And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie.
I don't know why you're going down this road. Like, you don't have to go down this road, dude.
To every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you.
Oh, he is Mr. Religion now. Okay.
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our
you
military.
going to
and
wokeness
it's
now?
already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better?
Mike says, so banning circumcision?
Our service
Maybe.
members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country.
That says, after
and
dodging a
peace.
bullet, S, you might be a little more religious too.
Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, you know, that might have happened. That might have happened, Matt. You could be right on that. That might have been what happened.
And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years.
That's
and that
true.
All armed services are having
They are coming back hardcore.
The best recruiting results ever.
That party's
in
right
the
on.
history of our services.
That's
What a
100%
difference.
true. Yep. Dave's like, back to culture wars. Yep.
And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere.
He's right.
We couldn't
Look,
recruit.
he's
Now
right.
We're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround.
He's right.
It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. And thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
Roy says he literally fired a qualified black man to hire an unqualified white man. That's actually funny. Roy, you got some good jokes tonight. You got good jokes.
Jason Hartley,
You do.
who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA.
4.46, that's higher than 4.
His dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Oh no, he's gonna get him in right now. He's gonna get him in right now. Don't go to West Point to be a cheesy soldier. Go to Annapolis and be a Marine, damn you. Annapolis, not West Point. Wrong one. Pete says, best military since George Washington, some would say.
And
Some would say that,
Jason,
Pete.
that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
Put a kid into college. This is a Democrats. Take this. Watch this. Do this. This is a show. You got to find a guy with some charisma or gal. You got to find somebody with some charisma and do
Jason,
this.
you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason.
Here goes. You get a car. You get a car.
As
You get a car.
Commander-in-Chief,
He's
my focus
Oprah.
is on building the
He's
most
freaking
powerful
Oprah.
military of the future.
He says Trump is making
As
dreams
a
come true.
first step,
Yes.
I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
Golden Dome to protect the homeland. I don't know what that is, but that sounds good.
And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually.
Oh, okay. That's
and
great.
Other places they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it.
Grace
And
says,
the
I hope the
United
LP's
States should
watching.
have it
Fun and
too,
Gabba Charisma
right?
from New
Tim,
York.
right?
I agree,
They
Grace.
should have it too. So
I
I want
agree.
to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before.
Like no one's ever seen.
To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding. And
you going to get rid of Jones Act?
Shipbuilding.
Get rid of Jones Act. Then I'll start clapping. Do that one.
And for that
Get rid of
purpose,
Jones
I'm
Act. I'll start
announcing
clapping then.
tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon.
No.
It will have a
Don't
huge
do it.
impact.
No.
To further enhance our national
All right.
security,
No, I don't like that one.
my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal.
No new
and
offices.
We've already started doing
We
it.
taking the Panama Canal now? Yep, that's anti-Doge. Andrea says no new offices. Yeah, you're messing up on this, Trump. You don't get us on this one. No.
Announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals.
No.
The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others.
Kim says if only we can get as much juice out of an orange as the wind we're getting out of the orange man tonight.
Of American blood and
yes.
treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work.
Dave says Larry, the politics would never get rid of Jones Act.
It's
a doubling down on the Jones Act. I know I wanted to get rid of it. That's what I'm saying, Dave. I'm not impressed with that.
The most expensive project also
that
was ever built in our country's
that can go away.
History,
I don't want that
if you
at all.
bring it
It's
up
garbage.
to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very
we invading
severely.
Panama again?
We
I
didn't give it
I thought we
to
finished that
China.
already.
We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Garfield says Golden Dome equals new version of Reagan's mythical Star Wars. That motivated people to Garfield. I don't know if it can happen. I hope it can. Of course, Israel gets an Iron Dome. We get a golden one.
Marco
we're better than that.
In charge. Good luck, Marco. Now,
I keep saying good luck to everybody.
We know who to blame if anything goes
That's
wrong.
why he said good luck. We know who to
Marco's
blame.
been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes, and I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic
Ray says
job.
waiting for
Thank
the
you.
Israel. I think he has to Israel shout out. He has to, doesn't he?
He's doing
has
a
to.
great job.
Yes. Garfield says China bought nothing around the Panama Canal. They legal contracts with the government of Panama, and now we're invading. I hope we're
And
not.
I also have a message tonight
I hope
for
we're
the
not.
incredible people of Greenland.
Oh no. Is he coming after Greenland now?
Support your right to determine your own future.
No.
And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security.
Well, at least he gets it. Greenland has to vote on it. That's true. I told you guys how that works.
But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
Oh, come on. Now he's trolling.
We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces
I did
of
the whole
radical
show
Islamic
on that if you
terrorism.
check. It's there.
3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan.
You trust Greenland before
Not
Ukraine.
that they were withdrawing. It was the way they withdrew.
He's going to attack Biden
Perhaps
again.
the most embarrassing moment in
There
the
we go.
history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Okay. Okay. They were on the phone tweeting, "He's a bad guy. Orange Man is very bad." Did we tell you that Orange Man is bad? He's
And I want
super
to thank
bad.
especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown.
Yeah, I told you, he keeps
That
having
when
Biden.
Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was.
Okay,
Should
here
have
come
never
Ukraine.
happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza.
Okay.
In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Little foreign policy. Little foreign policy. You were right, Dave. Bringing up Gaza before Ukraine. You were right.
And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia.
Okay.
A lot of things are
Now
happening
Ukraine and Russia.
in the Middle
Okay.
East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine.
Okay, here we go.
Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight.
Okay.
The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
Democrats clapped for sending $100 million. They're like, yeah, we sent all our money away. That's the wrong thing. Clap for the kid.
For another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Oh my God, he said Pocahontas. He said Pocahontas says yes. God, he said that.
$2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than
He's beating
Europe
up Biden again.
has spent by
I told you guys he would beat up Biden the entire time.
Billions of dollars. It's hard to believe.
And he did.
They wouldn't have stopped it and said, at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. That didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine.
Okay.
The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible
Told you to
to
come
bring
back.
lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under
Now,
President
will he be
Trump's
petty right now?
strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago.
Okay.
Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Wait a minute. Did he not belittle Zelensky? Did I miss that? Guy actually clapped for peace. Okay, clap for peace. That's good.
Wouldn't that be beautiful? It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end this senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid
I told you he would validate that.
a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last
Bill
summer,
says
I promised
Zelensky
his
came to heal. I told you guys he would. He had no
mother,
choice. Of course he was
Maltine,
gonna.
that we would
Yes.
bring her boy safely back home.
Yes.
After 22 days in office, I did just that.
But he didn't say
And they
thank
are
you in
here
advance.
tonight.
You're not wrong, Roy. He didn't. He did not say thank you in advance. He didn't. Oh, you guys don't like Biden. Cheyenne says Biden deserves it. Yeah, but he's been beating him up all night. Like, you could have just two up punches and that could have been it. But he just went all out. Mike goes, unlike most State of the Unions or presidents, Trump is being very specific on challenges against Biden, so it's different. And red meat, deserved as Biden was a zombie part-timer. You don't got to be so mean. Or you and Cheyenne think the same way. Keep punching. I'm like, he beat Biden up already, and now he's an old man zombie. Leave Biden alone. Let him go to the old man's home. Let him go. Just move on.
To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where
Yes.
his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally.
Yep.
That was not pleasant. And
Shelley
that is
says
where
he
I
can beat him up Biden all he wants.
met
Biden
his
won't remember.
beautiful
Good point.
mom right before I walked onto that stage.
Heaven
And
says
I told
Biden
her
was
I would
absolutely
not forget
horrific.
what she said about her son.
I say Trump has 1 year to bag on him.
And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky.
It's true.
Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian,
I remember
a
that
husband,
firefighter,
a
yes.
devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you.
I'm looking at Straight N over on Rumble. He says, Biden's gone. Let him go, move on. Yeah, Straight N, I think we're in the minority here, though. I think a lot of people like when he beats up Biden. So I think you and I are on the minority here. Most people are enjoying him punching Biden. So maybe he's right. Maybe we're wrong on this one. Maybe we're off. I think we're a minority. Most of the chat is enjoying him punch Biden. So I think we're off on this one. I'm with you, though. I'm with you. I just think we're off on it.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his three beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on.
The one
Corey
in the middle was a
taken from
Democrat.
us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave
I'm not
us
joking.
all with
That's
a
why she's
shining
mad.
example of the selfless
She's Democrat.
devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that.
Here we go. Rick says, bagging on Biden's rubbing in further to the Dems is warranted because he was their flesh golem. See, Straight N, we're wrong, man. The chat is liking him beat up on Biden. I think we're off on this one. I'm still with you, but we're in a minority in this one. Okay, Trump, my chat says it. Keep beating up on Biden. They like it.
Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of
Grace is with us,
the
Straight N. She
American
says
people.
Biden's not worth mentioning.
Despite the
Let
best
the old man
efforts
sit
of
when Hunter's
those
out
who
of
would
jail.
try to
See,
censor
some of us
silence
believe
us,
that.
break us, destroy us,
With a minority, Grace.
Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors.
Is he wrapping up?
Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean,
That
strode
wasn't-
into the unknown
Really?
wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge.
This
They
is a
lit
wrap
the
up.
world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired
this
up
is-
the engines
Mike said this is
of
the close. It
American
is.
industry,
It is.
vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel.
All right, this is the
We
golden
stand
age
on the
piece.
shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is
All
our
right.
turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country.
Here's the golden age.
This
He
will
said it.
be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher.
I says it.
And we
Yep,
are
golden
going
age.
to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the
Damn
face of this
civilization.
earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and
Grace is
healthiest and
entertained.
most vital communities anywhere in the world.
Yep, closing time.
We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we're going to lead humanity into space and plant the American
Damn, we
flag
going
on
to
the
Mars.
planet Mars, and even far beyond.
We going to Mars. Elon was right the whole time. See that? Elon was right the whole time. Roy goes, he is entertaining. That we can all agree on. It's true. I booed him twice, and I'm still entertained. And I booed him twice.
The unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens
he
believe
said
in,
fight, fight,
and
fight.
for the country our
Yeah, he
people
did.
deserve.
He did fight, fight, fight. Of course he did. Oh, look at Boebert. She's like, yeah, baby. She's saying fight, fight, fight. Yep. Sheridan says, Larry wins the bingo card game. We missed the Mars thing. Thank you for the $2, Sheridan. I appreciate it, brother. Of course, the fight, fight, fight. I told you he would validate Elon.
My fellow Americans,
I didn't think he'd go there, but I told you he'd validate Elon.
The golden age of America.
There's the
has
golden
only
age.
just
Bingo,
begun.
baby.
It will
Come on
be
now.
like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you.
Never.
God bless you, and God bless.
I told you he would do the golden age, guys. I knew he would. Now was the time. If I was writing a speech, I'd have done it too. Perfect time for golden age. 100%. Rick says 2 hours of Trump is still more doable than 5 minutes of MSNBC. Oh my God. I can't imagine. I'm gonna have to watch him MSNBC tonight and tomorrow. I'm gonna be up all night tonight watching MSNBC and CNN and watching them say how bad this speech was, how terrible it was. They're gonna say that, I'm sure. I'm sure. Cosmic House says, I decided that non-presidential is not that important. I decided transparency is far more important. The Dems have been weasels. He was almost assassinated. He can be as petty as he wants. I think people are saying that. I think it's, look, it's not my style. I wouldn't do it, but I get it. Adrian says, like him or not, he's a character and more entertaining than most politicians. True. IC says, that was actually a decent speech. True. Yep. Matt says, Dems hustling out to go log on to Twitter. Accurate. Accurate. Yes. IC says, I typically can tune out after 10 minutes. I was actually entertained. Even shed a couple of tears. I know. It was actually good. Yes. Straight Hands over on Rumble, and he says, Larry will watch MSNBC so we don't have to. Also accurate. You guys know me very well. Mike says, watch those Dems run away. They're running away so they can go on Twitter and say how bad the Orange Man was. Absolutely. 100%. Phil says he should have broken out a Bluetooth speaker and played My Way. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That'd been good. Mr. Matt says, thanks, guys. This was fun. There we go. Larry always taking one for the team. Yep. Absolutely. You hear him saying one of your best speeches. Boebert loves it. Yes. Ryan says this was very long and very entertaining. It was both. I would agree. I would agree. It was both.
I'm not going to get it. Sorry.
Liberty Lady says, government should be entertaining. I'm so sick of bread and circuses. Valid point. But I feel like it's what we expect and what we want now. Right? So let me kind of cover the bingo card. What I talked about and what actually happened, what we all chatted about, right? The first thing I talked about is I said he would validate DOGE and he would validate Elon Musk. And he did both of those. He validated Elon Musk more than I thought when I actually, showed him the thing and said he's going to go to Mars. That part I didn't really expect him to do it that much, but I told you he'd have to validate DOGE. He has to. And he did. He had to validate somehow the veterans, and he did, because the veterans getting laid off. So he spoke a lot about veterans and first responders, talking about how important he was, taking care of them. He then talked about how the future is golden age, and he had to do that. To be forward with you, I am not a fan of him saying golden age. I said that when Mike and I did our show a while ago. I'm not a fan of that because I'm not sure he can deliver golden age. But to be forward, politically, he should say that. It was the right move for him to say, even though I'm not sure he can deliver. Look, I hope he can. I want him to. I hope he can. My worry is he can't, and it's a bunch of just talk, but we'll see. I hope it's true. He, of course, claimed victory on the border, as I said he would, and that's his tariffs to get the stuff he wanted on the border. I said he would claim victory on that, and he did. He has to. He did not belittle Zelensky, like a little bit. I thought he might, but not much. That I'm surprised upon. And he just touched Israel only. Didn't talk about Gaza really hardly at all. I am surprised at that, but that makes me think maybe he's rethinking some of that. Maybe he's rethinking some of that, which may be a good thing. Maybe a good thing, right? I told you he would attack the Democrats because he knew they were going to protest. And Trump isn't like Obama, who were trying to hold back. Trump will go at his attackers directly. And he did. I got to tell you, the Dems thought they were going to be cute with their protest. I miss being for, if you're a Democrat, you better want to hear this. I'm being very clear. He smoked Democrats in that room. Now, to be forward, when Biden did a decent job holding off the Republicans when they were in the room too, but the Republicans were nowhere near as aggressive towards Biden. Republicans were aggressive against Obama, and Obama was mediocre at that because Obama very much is about Obama could speak very well when it came to the teleprompter, but off the cuff, he wasn't that great. Biden, in his prime, was actually better off the cuff in his prime. So he did a better job handling Republicans who weren't that aggressive. Democrats try to be aggressive here, and I got to tell you, Trump smoked them. And it's not good, right? It's not good. Phil says, Dave says, are we waiting? Are we staying for Democratic response? Is there going to be one? Okay, hold on. You know what? Maybe. That is a good question. That is a good question. Hold on. That is a good question. Let me see what we got here. All right. All right. There we go. There is CNN. I could pop that on if you guys want to see if they're doing anything. They're already on. No, everyone's just still watching it. There's no response. If there's going to be a response, there isn't one yet. They're just talking about it. There is no actual response left. There's going to be one. There might be one soon, but there isn't one now. So just so you know. Any case. So yeah. Phil says they probably because it's not a win on Ukraine or Israel yet. That's what I've been saying. See, if you remember, Mike was talking about this. He was talking about, Trump has already won. He's already won. And I said he hasn't won yet. These aren't wins yet, right? They might become wins, right? It looks good. They might become wins, but they aren't wins right now. So he's got to actually get the win before we go there, right? He's got to get the win first. That's for sure. So, but he has not won yet. So let's see. Ryan says, Larry, I was wrong. I thought he would belittle Zelensky and have a stupid policy towards Israel, Gaza. I was wrong on both. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah. Mike says, Trump knows that Ukraine is all in the news. He didn't need to mention it. He already won that issue. Hamas will be this weekend, I think. Now, he hasn't already won yet. No, that is not signed yet. You like Trump so much, Mike. You always counting his chickens before they hatch. They haven't hatched yet. I'm not saying you're wrong. Please don't I'm trying to be clear on that. I'm just saying you already counting chickens. They ain't hatched yet, my friend. They're just not. They're just not. All right, hold on. Let's go see. And let's watch.
That combined with he was, trying to get applause lines on,
she's going to attack
get rid of the budget deficit, and then reading down the list of all the wasteful government programs,
the transgender mice,
transgender mice, all of those things. Like that's Fox. I used to do a lot of Fox News hits back in the post to 2011 time frame.
That was the sweet spot.
And it
her
was
Trump derangement syndrome has actually increased.
Yeah. They spent $10 per muffin at this conference, or
lobster dinners. They're always having lobster dinners.
It was all.
So that's just already, you can tell there's somebody, right, just going to yell about how bad it is, of course. So yes. Let's see. Bernie's giving one on his page. Is that right? Yes, it's Democratic response by some Dem I never heard of course. I see you leaving. Okay, I'll see you soon. Yes, I'll see you all. Yes. So next Democratic response. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Maybe it's there. Maybe I'm missing it. Hold on. Maybe I am missing it. It's possible I'm missing it. I don't see it. Maybe I missed it. I don't see it at all. Oh, yeah, I do see it. Okay. Supposed to be happening soon. Okay, it is coming. Yes, you are right. There will be that. It's it's Slotkin. She's giving it. Whoever the hell Slotkin is. Okay. So someone is giving them a response. But besides that, so I think that the biggest piece here is he was able to push aside the Democrats who were trying to do something, which again, he doesn't realize how bad it makes him look. I mean, them look. If you're going to fight back aggressively, or don't fight back. They should have learned that, and they didn't. So yes. Mike says, Starmer already admitted to peace, no peace without U.S. That's a victory for Trump. Has nothing to do with the feelings. It's not signed. That's all I'm telling you. When it's signed, I'll say, yes, you're correct. But he can say whatever he wants. They can talk all the trash they want, Mike. You are counting chickens, and they are not. You look at your eggs and be like, damn, I got lots of chickens. You got eggs, my friend. You don't got chickens yet. When you got chickens, then you got chickens. Until that, you got eggs. That's all I'm saying. So, yes, that's good. Let me grab here. Michael says, Leo says, official Dem response, stunned silence. They were not ready for this at all. I completely agree with you. They were not ready for this at all. Yeah. No way that they thought, he would be this. And the funny part is, I called 3/4 of this. Like, I knew what he was going to do, right? So why don't you? Like, don't you have enough pundits to tell you, right, what you're doing, right? I mean, come on. This is terrible that they didn't know that. They should have known that. It's embarrassing. So, yes. Rick says, Chris, there was nearly unwatchable for me, or sometimes just unwatchable. Hold on up. So we are doing it. Hold on. Let me put her on.
I won't take it personally if you've never heard of me. I'm the new senator from the great state of Michigan, where I grew up. I've been in public service my entire life because I happened to be in New York City on 9/11 when the Twin Towers came down.
Okay.
Before the smoke cleared, I knew I wanted to make a life in national security.
Okay.
I was recruited by the CIA and did 3 tours in Iraq alongside the military. In between, I worked at the White House under President Bush and President Obama, 2 very different leaders who both believed that America is exceptional. You can find that same sense of patriotism here in Wyandotte, Michigan, where I'm speaking from tonight. It's a working class town just south of Detroit. President Trump and I both won here in November. It might not seem like it, but plenty of places like this still exist across the United States. Places where people believe that if you work hard and play by the rules.
Okay, I pause. She says nothing. This is the same shit they say. It's nothing. Yes, thank you for this. Yes. Phil says, oh, wow, CIA Democrats. Yes. What is she doing?
You should do well and your kids should do better. It reminds me of how I grew up. My dad was a lifelong Republican. My mom, a life.
Is she trying to become president or something? What are you saying? What a colossal. Why do they do this all the time? Why do they do this? What a colossal waste. Wow. Kajan says, Larry, here's a tip for your commentary. No tax. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. $2. I appreciate it. $5. Larry, I'll raise a Budweiser and toast to you tonight. You did a magnificent job covering this statement on Congress. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Yes. Phil says she's looking for the Liz Cheney vote. Well, she's got that. This is terrible. Why do they do the last one they put up was a disaster? And what are they thinking? Trump gives you a master class on entertainment and you go, hi, I'm some CIA boss babe person. What?
Democrat. But it was never a big deal because we had shared values.
Who talks about myself?
Any one party. We just went through another fraught election season. Americans made it clear that prices are too high and that the government needs to be more responsive to their needs.
Yes.
America wants change.
Yes, accurate.
There's a responsible way to make change and a reckless way. And we can.
Okay, when you were in charge for years and you were in the CIA and you're now a congressperson, all stuff, why didn't you do that? And what is your answer now? If you pivot right now to, and we learned our lesson 4 years ago, and I'm the person to tell you our new plan to fix things, I will thoroughly be impressed. So if you do that, I will thoroughly be impressed. Ready, go.
Make that change without forgetting who we are as a country and as a democracy.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to lay out tonight.
Okay, lay it out.
Because whether you're from Wyandotte or Wichita, most Americans share 3 core beliefs.
Tell me.
That the middle class is the engine of our country.
True.
That strong national security protects us from harm.
True.
And that our democracy, no matter how messy, is unparalleled and worth fighting for.
Okay, I think most Americans believe that. So why did you hate the border? And why did you not have democracy in the Democratic Party? Why did you do nothing that you just said was true? I agree with what you just said. Okay, so you're going to tell me now, okay, you're going to change it all. You've learned your lesson. Ryan says, Donald Trump will be proud of a response. Correct you with even $2. Michael, becoming a member. Every membership counts, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, guys. Yes. Texas Spy Historian over on Rumble says, Elisa Slotkin is a bunch of failing up in espionage. Yeah, she was Iran in Iraq cell and advisor while Iran infiltrated and Mahdi militia and was sending their death squads through. Yeah, she's incompetent, but it doesn't matter. She's just there. That's all that matters. Yes. Mike says, you'll be disappointed, Larry. I already am. Jesus Christ. Okay, now give me the plan. Come on. Be good. Yeah. She happened to be in New York City 9/11. She didn't happen to get hurt or help anyone. My friends doing that job. True. But here's the worst part. She just used 9/11 to say, see, I'm like Republican and stuff. You should listen to me. I'm okay. Just do the right thing here. Do the right thing. Come on.
Let's start with the economy. Michigan literally invented the middle class. The revolutionary idea
they invented
that you
it.
could work at an auto plant and afford the car you were building. That's
Okay.
the American dream.
Okay.
And in order to expand and protect the middle class, we have to do a few basic things.
Okay.
We need to bring down the price of things we spend the most money on: groceries, housing, healthcare.
Okay.
We need to make more things in America with good paying union jobs.
Okay, I don't mean to be mean, but what you're saying is true, and literally what Trump just said. I'm not trying to be mean to you. Did you hear what Trump said?
And bring our supply chains back home from places like China. We need to give American businesses the certainty they need to invest and create the.
Okay, Matt says, Matt says, I thought this was a reaction to the speech. Correct. So what you should be saying is, when Trump's idea of using tariffs to make that happen are wrong, and my idea is, but she's just going, we have to do these things. Trump literally gave an answer. You may disagree with his answer, and be very clear. I'm not sure I'm happy with all these damn tariffs, but that's what he said. See, Vivek says it. Yeah, Trump's tariffs doing that. He gave this the answer to what you're saying. Did you write this and then not think? Or did you watch the speech first and then jump? I don't know what you did.
Jobs of the future. And we need a tax system that's fair for people who don't happen to make $1 billion.
Okay.
Look, the president talked a big game on the economy, but it's always important to read the fine print.
Okay.
So,
what's your plan?
Do his plans actually help Americans get ahead?
Okay, that's not what I said. See, you blew it. Mike is right and disappointed. Mike, you are right and disappointed. That doesn't matter. What is your plan? If you think saying his plans are bad is fine. I get it. Orange man bad. You've been saying it since 2015. What is your plan?
Not even close. President Trump is trying to deliver an unprecedented giveaway to his billionaire friends.
It's his billionaire
He's on
friends.
the hunt to find trillions of dollars to pass
That's
along
what
to
it
the
is.
wealthiest in America.
See that?
And to do that, he's going to make you pay in every part of your life.
He's going to punish you.
Grocery and home prices are going up, not down. And he hasn't laid out a credible plan to deal with either of those.
Okay, what's your plan?
His tariffs on allies like Canada will raise prices on energy, lumber, and cars.
Okay, what's your plan?
That will hurt manufacturing and farmers. Your premiums and prescriptions will cost more because the math on his proposals
At least she'll be done soon.
Without going after your health care. Meanwhile, for those keeping score, the national debt is going up, not down.
You've done nothing for the national debt. You've done nothing for all of this. Look, I get it. The national debt matters. I like it. I agree. Matt says $2 for staying up forever. I know I'm gonna be up all night tonight. It's fine. I knew it was gonna happen. It's gonna be late night. It's fine.
And if he's not careful, he could walk us right into a recession. And one more thing. In order to pay for his plan, he could very well come after your retirement.
Now, what she told us, and this is when she actually lied, she said, we have to do all these things. That I'm going to explain how we do it now. And then she attacked Trump. Where was her plan? Grace says, Trump's just said it better, louder, stronger, and meaner. Grace, you're not wrong. This was her time. Now, if it were me, I'd be throwing, you know me, I'd be throwing policies everywhere. I would say, this is the right libertarian policy. Here's the right libertarian policy. Here's the right libertarian policy. And by the way, I would also be correct. If I had the opportunity to do this, where people would watch me do this, I would easily explain how I'd actually fix things. As you guys hear me talk about fixing things every week, I actually do that. She is a politician. The Democrats picked her, and she still falls back to Orange Man bad.
Social Security, Medicare, and VA benefits, you worked your whole.
He's going to yell. He's going to take away all your stuff. That's what he's going to do, because the Orange Man's bad.
Claims he won't, but Elon Musk just called Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme
of all
time.
So not just Orange Man bad, kind of autistic man bad too. That's what it is. Orange Man bad and kind of autistic man bad. Ryan says, Larry, the Dems don't have a plan, just outrageous rhetoric to appease the donors. True. Dems are clueless, but everyone knows that. She confirms this. Yeah, but you had your chance, and I wanted to have something. I wanted them to have, right now you should have some kind of plan right now. I would even go back to the old plan. Go back to Medicare for all. We'll save the world. I would take that now. I would take the old game. Tax the rich. I would take that now, but have an actual tax plan to destroy the billionaires. I would take that. Something, but not. She lied. She said, I'm going to walk through our plan, and there's no plan. Khalidi says, hey, Larry, spoiler, they don't have any plans. Only fear, shame, and joy. They don't have joy. Harris had joy, Khalidi. Get with the program, okay? You're behind the times now. That was 6 months ago. We had joy 6 months ago. That joy's gone. After the election, that joy's gone. Now what we have is fear and shame and insults. We got that. Disrespect, so much of that. We got disrespect. We got shame, a lot of that. The joy part, that's old news, Khalidi. That's old news. Get with the program now.
While we're on the subject of Elon Musk, is there anyone in America who is comfortable with him and his gang of 20-year-olds?
And his gang of 20-year-olds. Don't I always tell you? Insult, insult, insult. That's it. Insult, insult, insult. Grace says it. No one gives shit about billionaires. What are you going to do for me? Yes. Yes. When I was in sales, we talked about this. We talked about the idea of everything is about W, as in WABC, WIFM. What's in it for me? Yes. Yes. Cheyenne says, bait and switch. I'll give you a plan. Orange Man bad. Accurate. Yes. Accurate. Terrible. Oh my God. Yes.
Using their own computer servers to poke through your tax returns, your health information, and your bank accounts.
They're going to kill you all.
No oversight, no protections against cyber attack, no guardrail.
Okay. What if I can't pay my rent? How does this help me? What if I can't find a good job? What if my kid's education's garbage? What if my education's garbage and I got $40,000 of debt? How about that? You got a plan for that? Oh no, Orange Man's bad. You got a plan for that? Nothing. I don't care if the billionaires get the whatever or no oversight. You're privileged. You are privileged. You are never going to worry about starving. You're never going to worry about health care. You're never going to worry about paying your rent. You are privileged. You are part of the establishment and you're privileged. And don't get me wrong. So is Trump. I'm not saying Trump isn't. So are all of them. But whether you like Trump or not, and I booed him more than once tonight, He does have plans. Where are yours? And the worst part is that makes me most upset is in 2016, Bernie Sanders had plans. And he gave those plans to the Democrats. And they went, we're going to go play identity politics. And they've been playing identity politics and Orange Man Bad for 8 years. Almost 2015, 10 years. For 10 years. And Trump called him out on it today. He said, you did that, and what happened? Look at me. I'm still here. He's right. He's right. Yes. Mike says, Slotkin hates 20-year-olds exposing grift, but is fine with 12-year-olds cutting genitals and defining global climate policy. Correct. Correct. Michael Velov says, she's telling this to people who surrender critical data on Facebook profiles for scammers. Accurate. Accurate. Yes. Kitty says, apparently Bernie Sanders walked out like an hour ago. What a loser. How disrespectful to American people. Yes. Colidi says, at least Trump can relate to average Americans. You know, Colidi, this is the skill set that he actually has. Trump is not an average American at all. He is a privileged billionaire. That's true. But he does relate to people. He does. And she starts off going, I am been in the CIA and worked with military, and you should believe that I'm great. And I have a plan, but no plan. But Orange Man's bad.
What they do with your private data. We need a more efficient government. You want to cut waste? I'll help you do it.
No, you liar. No, you won't. You are a CIA plant. You would never do that. You are a blatant liar. You would never do that. Shut up. You are lying. Shut up. Ryan, $5 says the Dems have the same class warfare argument versus Trump as they did Reagan. It's not working versus Trump as it did versus Reagan. It's like they've learned nothing because they have learned nothing. Yes. Yes. So you may turn the volume up on her? Are you sure? Kitty, are you sure you want to punish yourself that bad? All right, let me see if I can put the volume up a little bit. I think you may not want that. Okay.
But change doesn't need to be chaotic or make us less safe. The mindless firing of people who work to protect our nuclear weapons, keep our planes from crashing, and conduct the research that finds the cure for cancer.
Still waiting on the plan, my dear.
Only to rehire them 2 days later? No CEO in America could do that without being summarily fired.
Okay, first, not true. CEOs do it all the time. She's never had a private sector job. She just said she's never had she knows. She has no idea. This woman's utterly full of shit.
Okay, so we've talked about economic security. How about national security?
Okay, that was her plan for economic security? My plan for economic security is Trump is terrible, and so is Musk. Okay, next plan.
Let's start with the border.
Okay.
As someone who spent my whole career protecting our homeland, every country deserves to know who and what is coming across its border.
Okay, so what have you done before that? Great.
Period.
I agree.
Democrats and Republicans should all be for that.
Agreed. Okay. Okay. Look, give me something here.
But securing the border without actually fixing our broken immigration system
is
dealing with the symptom and not the disease.
Okay.
America is a nation of immigrants. We need a functional system keyed to the needs of our economy. That
true.
allows vetted people to come and work here legally.
Did you check out my Ellis Island plan that I've been talking about for the past 8 years? That's not what you're gonna tell me now?
So I look forward to the president's plan on that.
Okay. Where's your plan?
Because here's the thing. Today's world is deeply interconnected. Migration, cyber threats, AI, environment.
Okay, no. His plan, which I don't like, is kick in doors, grab people by the neck, and throw them out of the country. Now, Mike Voss loves that very much. He's probably laughing right now. I don't like that plan. That's a bad plan. I think my plan's good. Can you give me one? No. Your plan is he's dumb.
Mental destruction, terrorism. One nation cannot face these issues alone. We need friends in all corners, and our safety depends on it. President Trump loves to say peace through strength.
Yes.
That's actually a line he stole from Ronald Reagan.
He stole it.
Let me tell you, after this
He's a thief too. You know that shit? He's a thief too.
spectacle that just took place in the Oval Office last week, Reagan must be rolling in his grave. We all want an end to the war in Ukraine.
Okay, wait a minute. You would just... Who wrote this speech. So let me tell you the second piece. The second piece is Orange Man really bad. He's mean.
But Reagan
God
understood
damn
that
it.
true strength required America to combine our military and economic might with moral clarity. And that scene
Okay.
in the Oval Office wasn't just a bad episode of reality TV.
Because he was
It
mean.
summed up Trump's whole approach to the world.
All right. I get you don't like how it went down. I say it often. I don't like how it looks. I say it often. I don't like the feels, as Mike teases me. I don't always like the feels. True. But he came back with a note saying, let's sign the deal and let's have some peace. So even though I don't like how it looks, didn't it kind of work? Didn't it kind of work? Phil says, this is dumb. She's trying to be super Republican. Yeah, she thinks she's winning Republicans over. You're not. No Republican's like, damn, she's right. I've been wrong about Trump this whole time. No one is saying that. No one is saying that. She is completely losing everything. God damn, it's terrible.
He believes in cozying up to dictators like Vladimir Putin and kicking our friends like the Canadians in the teeth. He sees American leadership as merely a series of real estate.
So literally, again, so let's talk about economics now. We did economics. We covered that. He's bad. Now let's cover foreign policy. By the way, he's still bad.
Transactions. As a Cold War kid, I'm thankful it was Reagan and not
kid.
Trump in office in the 1980s.
Oh, you're
Trump
right.
would have lost us the Cold War.
Phil, you're right. She's trying to be
Donald
super
Trump's
duper
actions
Republican.
suggest that in his heart, he doesn't believe we're an exceptional nation. He
What?
clearly doesn't think we should lead the world.
What?
America is not perfect, but I stand with the majority of Americans who believe we are still exceptional, unparalleled.
What?
And I would rather have American leadership over Chinese or Russian leadership any day of the week.
Okay.
Because for generations, America has offered something better.
It
Our
has?
security and our prosperity, yes, but our democracy, our very system of government.
You didn't even have a primary. What are you talking about? Your ballot access laws make me want to vomit. What are you oh, Jesus Christ. Ryan, thank you for $5. Reagan and Trump are the two POTUS that made the Dems in Congress and the media look like the fools they are. Other GOP POTUS lack their charisma. Charisma does matter. I mean, I know it does. I know some of you don't like that, but it does. I mean, charisma does matter. It absolutely does. Yes. So Phil says she's basically giving me a very bad version of Trump's speech. She's doing the Trump speech without the jokes and without the answers. So she said, okay, we'll make a shorter speech. We'll take Trump's speech. We'll take out all the fun parts. We'll get rid of those. And then we'll take out all the answers. We'll get rid of all the answers, and then we'll give the speech. That'll work. That's what Democrats thought. That'll work.
Has been the aspiration of the world. And right now, it's at risk. It's at risk when the president decides you can pick and choose what rules you want to follow.
You just pick
when
and
he
choose the
ignores
rules.
Court orders and the Constitution itself.
Because you
or
care
when
about
elected
that.
Leaders stand by and just let it happen. But it's also at risk when the president pits Americans against each other.
And you know what Democrats have never done? Pitched Americans against each other. That's never happened. That's never happened with all the DEI stuff.
When he
Never once.
demonizes those who are different and tells certain people they shouldn't be included.
See that?
Because America is not just a patch of land between two oceans.
Okay.
We are more than that. Generations have fought and died to secure the fundamental rights that define us.
I know. So what's your
Those
plan?
rights and the fight for them make us who we are.
Okay, so where's the
A
plan?
nation of strivers.
Jesus Christ, she
innovators.
says nothing. She says nothing. Holy shit, she says nothing. Mike says, like sanctuary cities don't pick and choose laws. Correct. Yes, absolutely. Carrie says, is Kamala her speechwriter? Probably. Grace says, Liz Cheney, spirit animal here. Done. Ryan, thank you for $5, my friend. Dem's been trying to out-Reagan the GOP since 1988 without much success except for Clinton and Obama. That was my point. I told you that's how they're going to solve this problem. Democrats are going to solve this problem with Clinton 3.0 in about 4 or 8 years. I'm not sure when. 4 or 8 years from now, they're going to find Clinton 3.0, and then that's how they're going to win this. They're going to out charisma whatever, because eventually Republicans are going to move away from Trump and they're going to go to some dull, boring guy like Mike Johnson or something. They're going to put like Mike Johnson up for president at one point, what 2028, 2032, whenever it is, they're going to put like Mike Johnson up for president or something. And when that happens, with no charisma, the Democrats will be like, okay, here we go. Now all of a sudden we got the guy. That's how it works.
And we are never satisfied. That is America's superpower.
That's our superpower.
And look, I've lived and worked in many countries. I've seen democracies flicker out.
See that?
I've seen what life is like when
with CIA, you flickered them out.
You can't open a business without paying off a corrupt official.
You mean like New York City today?
You can't criticize the guys in charge without getting.
You mean like Twitter was before Elon bought it?
And knock at the door in the middle of the night. So as much as we need to make our government more responsive to our lives today, don't for one moment fool yourself that democracy isn't precious and worth saving. But how do we actually do that? I know a lot of you have been asking that question.
Yeah, because you haven't answered it. So
First,
come on.
Don't tune out. It's easy to be exhausted.
See, don't tune out. That's the answer. Vote harder. I was wondering how we fix this, Andrew, and now I know I know how now. I know how. Here it is. Vote harder for Democrats next time. Problem solved. Okay, that's your plan.
But
Got
America needs you now more than ever.
Needs you. Don't
if
check out.
If previous generations had not fought for this democracy, where would we be today? Second, hold your elected officials, including me, accountable.
Okay.
Watch how they're voting. Go to town halls and demand they take action. That's as American as apple pie.
This isn't the plan. So here's our plan. You do stuff. That's our plan. Let me tell you our plan. You guys go do stuff. I'm going to sit here and talk trash and make tons of money. You guys go. I'm like going to hold up some stupid plan or I'm going to walk out and get mad. I'm going to go on Twitter right now. You guys go to your town halls and vote really hard for Democrats. Get busy.
Third, organize. Pick just one issue you're passionate about and engage. And doom scrolling doesn't count.
Wow. She literally said, here's my plan. You guys get to work.
Join a group that cares about your issue and act. And if you can't find one, start one. Some of the most important movements in our history have come.
Or let me give you another option. The Democratic Party could come up with actual plans, maybe even going economically left. Again, I disagree with economically left, but your base actually likes economic left programs. Why don't you go economically left, make an actual plan, motivate people to vote for you, have some good ideas, make some goddamn charisma, be funny, joke some jokes. Some of you are a bit mad at that, but do it. And then maybe somebody might actually vote for you.
From the bottle up. In closing, we all
that was
know
the plan.
That our country is going through something right now.
That was the plan. Let me tell you our plan about economic and foreign policies. Okay, foreign policy. Trump is terrible. Okay, economic policy. Trump is really terrible, and so is Elon. Here's how we fix it. You guys go work. Get work, you lazy bums. Don't check out. Get to work, you poors. You poors work harder for us. We're going to sit here and we're not going to change nothing. But you guys go vote harder.
We're not sure what the next day is going to hold, let alone the next decade. But this isn't the first time we've experienced significant and tumultuous change as a country.
Okay.
I'm a student of history.
All right.
We've gone through periods of political instability before.
Yeah.
And
you were causing it. You were CIA. You were doing it.
We've chosen to keep changing this country for the better. But every single time, we've only gotten through those moments because of two things.
Tell me.
Engaged citizens and principled leaders.
No. Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. Those are your two things, Democrats. That's it. That's it right there. Yes, that would have been it. 100%. Dave has a plan for her. Dave says her plan: 1, raise taxes. True. 2, spend more. True. 3, ban guns. Dave, I think you're right in their plan. I love this. 4, arrest Trumplicans. True. 5, harass Trumplicans that have been arrested. Accurate, accurate, and accurate. Yes. Done. That's literally that's actually her plan. Yes, that's her plan. Yes. Mummy Badger says the Dems are going to sleep on their best chance at a Clinton 3.0. Andy Bashir. Andy Bashir is actually pretty good. I don't know if he has enough charisma to fight whoever's after Trump, but it's not a bad deal. That's not a bad deal. Yes.
Engage citizens who do a little bit more than they're used to doing to fight for the things that they care about, and principled leaders who are ready to receive the ball and do something about it.
But you're the leader with the ball. Do something. What? Do something. Phil says he's team move Tulsi Gabbard. Nicely done. Phil with the jokes. Get it. I love that. Very nice. Absolutely.
So thank you tonight for caring about your country. Just by watching, you qualify as engaged citizens. And I
We
promise
did it.
that
We're doing
I
it.
and my fellow Democrats will do everything in our power to be the principled leaders that you.
No, you won't. You liars. You're doing nothing.
Good night, everyone.
Okay, that was embarrassingly bad. Wow. Vivek says Westmore is also good. Has Stephen A. Smith. Now, Stephen A. Smith has some charisma. He's got some charisma. I'm telling you, if they actually put up Stephen A. Smith, I don't know if he has policy issues. I have no idea if the man is. I know he's fun and good when it comes to chatting, but if he actually has policies and such, oh my God, he'd be amazing. If the Democrats could get a Stephen A. Smith, again, assuming that he actually has, policies or whatever. I got to know the guy that way at all. I don't really watch his show. I'm not really in that sports that much anymore, so I wouldn't know. But oh my God. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, 100%. I think he'd be a great choice. Matt says, wow, what a waste of time. I could have went to bed. You're probably right. Anyway, we just laughed at it. That was cool. Cleve says, so fake. Absolutely. Yes. Felicia says, Stephen A. Smith sucks. He screams all the time. But he's got charisma, Felicia. Better than her. I would rather heard him than her. Just saying. Look, Felicia, they don't have a deep bench is all I'm saying. Right? They don't have a deep bench. That's all I'm saying. They need a deeper bench. And I think they should take whoever they can take. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. My point here being, we talked about what I thought Trump would do. He did most of it. I thought he would spend a bit more time on Israel, just kind of giving them a shout out. He gave them a little shout out, but not much. I thought he'd be more aggressive against Zelensky, but he's not. And I'm gonna tell you why. As I look back at it now, I get it now. The reason why they weren't that aggressive against Zelensky is he knows he has to get this thing done. If Zelensky does walk away, he's not. I told you he wouldn't. But if he does walk away, Trump is going to struggle to close this deal. This is not an easy war to end. I've been saying it for over a year. This is not an easy war to end. And Trump knows to end it, he's going to have Zelensky somehow on his side in some way, shape, or form. And Zelensky's got to have Trump on his side. This is they need each other, right? To if they're going to end this war or not, they have to. So I do think that Trump is like, fine, he's back, fine. Again, I mentioned before, Trump is transactional. He sends the note saying, I'm sorry, Trump. I'm sorry. I love you. He's like, great. Let's get a deal done. So Trump is transactional in that regard. And that can be good and bad. In this case, I think it's good. We can actually end this damn thing. That would be great. So yeah, I do think that was one of the things I was surprised at. He did attack the Dems. I knew he would. He did aggressively. I told you he would. He did validate and claim victory for the border and the tariffs, which he did claim victory for those. He validated DOGE and he validated Elon Musk also. I didn't know if he was going to mention the Mars thing, but that was good. He did that too. So he picked up on that piece also. All good in that regard. He was funny and it was a show like No Tomorrow. I booed him on a couple of things. I do not like the tariff stuff. I don't. You all know I don't. I do not like the death penalty. I hate the death penalty. I think it's a terrible idea. I can't stand it. But still, overall, a great speech. And Democratic response was terrible. The Democratic response was horrible. And the Democratic actions during it were also embarrassingly bad. I don't know why they even bothered showing up, right? Don't even bother showing up. Vivek's with me. He's like, hate the death penalty. Dave, yes. Quote in Total Recall, get your ass to Mars. Yes, quoting that. Absolutely. Yes, 100%. And, Trump's feel-good stuff, Mummy Badger says it, his feel-good intermission helped the pacing. His feel-good stuff was really good. Presidents do that well generally. His was exceptional. It was a class. If you're a Democrat right now and you watch that, don't be angry. It makes no sense to be angry, right? I'm not a Republican. I'm a libertarian, right? My candidates don't win, right? But I can look at this and learn from it. And if you're a Democrat now watching it, you're upset, you're mad. I get it. Don't be mad, though. It makes no sense. Take what Trump did tonight, think about it, and turn it around. Turn it around. You can turn this damn thing around. It's possible. You could do it. Mike says, Dems didn't show up. Also, you agree on a 5-point bump? 100%, Mike. You're right on that. I think you called it early and you were right. I think you called it early. You were right. He's going to get a nice bump off of this. Of course he will. The Dems will try to somehow spin this as he's evil or selfish or what you saw her do. They'll try something like that, whatever. They'll just, the Democrats don't have anything except Orange Man bad. That's all they, and kind of autistic guy bad. That's all they have. They don't have anything else. I mean, and to be forward, you know that one of the top guys, freaking James Carville, said, just lay down, wait for the Republicans to collapse. And I know, Mike, you want to hear it, but there was a chance. The Republicans might go too far because there's, when you get out this far, you might start, thinking you can celebrate, and you already counting your chickens, so you already counting the chickens, right? And a bunch of them already counting chickens already. You still got eggs. Don't forget that. Anyway, all righty. Ryan says, Larry, my Democratic cousin will never agree that Dems have a messaging problem. Because it's not a problem. It's clear. Orange Man is bad. It's pretty clear. It's true. Guys, I'm going to ask you if I haven't already. I know I have 1,000 times, so please keep going on this. If you haven't already clicked the like button, I don't know why you hate me. I'm giving you 3 hours in the middle of the goddamn night. You can click the like button. And I'm cracking jokes, and I'm trying to be honest, both Democrats and Republicans. You can click the like button. It does matter. If you have not shared or reposted it, please do so. Absolutely. Please also follow me on Facebook, X, and Rumble. Subscribe on YouTube and click the all notifications if you can. For those of you who want to become a member, I love it. Members help tremendously. Click the join button on YouTube or click the subscribe button on Rumble. $49 per month keeps me spending more time doing this and less time working. Remember, I don't have a job. I am a consultant. If I am not working, I am not getting paid. So I must spend time working with my customers and my clients. And when I spend time doing this, I'm not with customers or clients. I'm with my friends. See how nice that was? Maybe the best part of this entire speech presentation was the members we made along the way. See that? Clooney says, how is your finger? It is in trouble, but I do not think I'm going to get it. Stitches. I think I'll be all fine. I think I'll be fine. No stitches. Thank you for asking. I cut myself pretty badly, but my daughter is in EMT school, so I had to look at like a doctor. She's like, you'll be fine. Just keep it tight. You'll be fine. That's all. So he says, Sharpe Cohen 2028. Hey, you never know. It could happen. It absolutely could happen. It's absolutely possible. Yes, you never know. Yes, absolutely. So I'm looking over at Rumble, and I do have Space Jason saying, Trump said almost nothing about Israel, right? Or did I miss that part? No, he had like 2 sentences. That I was surprised on. I thought he would be more forward on Israel. He did not. That was the one thing I was wrong on. I gave a lot of things, but that one I was wrong on. So I'm looking now over at Instagram, and M. Duman says, Larry, you spoke at my high school in New York. I voted for you over Kamala. Oh, thank you. Not a Trump fan, but voted for him over Kamala. My generation has to break this bogus third party. Moved to Florida, got the hell out of there. Yeah, look, he moved. For those of you who know, I do speak at colleges often and at high schools. Often I'll speak to students. I'll speak to the faculty if they want. I'm happy to chat, in the club. So if you guys want, I'm happy to go talk to it all the time. I'm glad it was good, my friend. He says, doing great, bought my first house. Oh, just bought a new Corvette, dude. Live out the American dream, but I want to see change in our government. Have to break the two-party system. The third party is the way. You are correct. Sick of the tax breaks for the right and the obscene views of the second part. I agree with you, my friend. I'm glad you're doing well. I hope my talk helped. By the way, I don't always talk when I go there. I don't always talk about things like politics. I may talk about business. I may talk about the future, getting a job, all those things. So yes. Michael says, I'd be mad too if Trump exposed my fraudulent gravy train to the public. Accurate statement, Michael. accurate statement. That's their money. That's why they're mad. That's their money. That's why they're mad, right? That's the piece. They're madder now because now people are messing with their money, not because they're messing with us, because they're messing with our money. So yes, that's the issue, right? Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Grace says, Larry, libertarian man, good. Hit like. Yes, absolutely. Yes, 100%. Mummy Badger says, keep it tight. Has a bit of a campaign slogan energy. Okay. Whatever it makes. I like it. All good. All right, guys. I want to say thank you so much for this evening. I will be back on tomorrow, maybe a little bit later tomorrow. I think I have something I have to do tomorrow. Oh, no, that's Thursday. I'll be on 7 o'clock. I'll be on 7 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be on later on Thursday, 7 p.m. tomorrow. I don't know what I'll be talking about. Something. We'll figure it out. Oneness is over. Please do me a favor. After this is all over, please come back and post wherever you're watching a comment and post the comment on what was the most cringe moment of tonight. What was the most cringe moment of tonight? I will see you all very soon.